Oh, fuck you, fat bitch.
There's a live chat, maybe?
There it is. We are live.
Hey! I'm TPAW.
I'm the Karnage.
And we're Crazy Peas. So this last week has been...
Nope.
Well, it's been a waterfall of chaos, not rainbows. And today we had
screw rainbows.
We had a duder come into the house to try and help us clean up some things because more insects than we want, and
well, it's just bullshit.
Yeah, so we're getting that taken care of, and then today has been a lot of cleaning up, reorganizing. The kids' right now looks like a jigsaw puzzle, but that's because of what we were having to do. Things should be more in order over the weekend. But yeah, it's been I now have 3 trash cans, one in this room, one in the kids' room, and one in the bedroom. Technically, there's 2 in the bedroom, but you know. And then also
one for you, one for the crazy wife.
Yep, and I've been working on mixing with the audiobook stuff. That's been fun. And
how close to being done are you?
I'm in the middle of it, so not too long now. But and then the poetry book actually that we finished came out. Like we got the proof copy in the mail. Then I got a proof of Snake in the Dam itself on hardback again, just because there was some stuff I had to fix. But yeah.
Yeah, editor always gets proof of concept.
The editor in my head never stops moving. So even long after the credits have rolled, my editor brain's going, I need to fix that. And then I compulsively have to fix it. But yeah, that's part of why like you guys haven't heard anything about the sequel story yet, because I'm going to be taking more time on that to make sure that it's where it needs to be. But yeah, apparently you have clips you want to show us.
Well, I do, but the first one I just thought was funny.
Yeah.
When I devil saw me with my head down and thought he'd won until I said,
Amen.
Amen. That one I was just scrolling through, craziness.
Yeah.
And it popped up, so.
Nice.
What if I hit here if it'll just play it?
Booths that changed my perspective when I heard them. 1. You will always have problems. You will always have some sort of conflict going on in your life. You must learn to enjoy life while still solving them. There is beauty in everything we experience. You just need to adjust your perception. You can either cry in the storm or dance in the rain. 2. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is believing that love is finding the right person. In reality, love is about becoming the right person. Don't go looking for the people you want to spend the rest of your life with. Become the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. The people who deserve you will naturally gravitate towards you. 3. Maturing is realizing that overplaying your part in people's lives to prove your loyalty is only proving how much less you value yourself. Match your energy with their energy. It hurts, but it will make space for the people that are supposed to be in your life. If these quotes helped you in it.
Yeah. I don't need your little commercial afterwards.
Now it makes sense though. Like, there's a lot of back and forth in media right now. Whether it's people reacting to social media stuff about couples, or the toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, all that stuff.
Russell Brand, because he got accused of something even though there's not been a trial. He hasn't been proven for anything. The others are doing what they did to Tate. Somebody said he did this to her. Burn him at the stake. Do you have any proof, any true testimony? Has he gone to court yet? No. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what happened to Tate. He's literally sitting on his ass waiting for the court date to come up so that we can go get it done, find out what the decision is.
Yeah, so we can, basically prove his side of the story and
It's not even proof. The judges already have it all. It's all in the court documents. All it is going to shut up, go live your life.
Right.
Or, no, we're going to throw you in jail because we hate you.
Yeah. So
those are like the only two options. They try to throw him in jail and get him put on death row, or they just shut him, go home.
Yeah, and it was actually, that's something that I talked about months ago about Tate, was that the danger of you know, gaining the mentality, gaining the spearhead idea of let's just accuse this person and then, you know, let's all band together and hate this person just because a lot of people say so. The gang mentality could be massively consequential, because anybody, you guys watching this, us, anyone really, could accuse somebody of rape or accuse somebody of, you know, the big R word or sexual assault, SA, or any of this stuff,
But see, here's the
and not actually be guilty
It
of
doesn't
it.
have to be SA. It could be assault, emotional, blah, 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 you know, with all the crap they've added onto it, which, no, assault means he hit you. SA means he touched you. Rape means he told you, shut up, I'm going to get my dick wet anyways.
Yeah, it means he forced himself onto them. And it's like,
You also have to remember, women can rape men, so
that's something that Hallett's always brought up to me too. Whenever we talk about it, is he's like, do they ever focus on the fact that it's not just men doing those things to women? Do they ever focus on the fact that it could be the women doing it to the men? And I'm like, no, that never comes up in media whatsoever. It's always just men, and they're always painting it as just men. They're always like, oh, just white men are the problem, or white men do this, or white men do that.
men in general.
Yeah, or men in general. But it's very popular to hear the words white men or white tea men. Yeah, because it's abbreviated somehow to white men.
Well, here's the funny part. Shut up, white man. Andrew Tate. Excuse me, I'm black.
It's mixed race, yeah. And that's the irony there. But, yeah, no, I just...
I always love fun, because if you're going to throw shit at me, alright, let's throw out the truth. You're being a racist now. 'Cause I'm not just white, I'm just light skinned.
Yeah.
Which pisses off a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's a sensitive subject, too, but, like, at the same time, like, you know how many lives are destroyed just by accusations alone? Like, you don't even need, like, the media doesn't need evidence. The media will just crucify you.
Hurley's talked about it. A few of the guys on her podcast have talked about how guy and girl had a mutual thing. They were both flirting with each other. Or no, it was a female lawyer who talked about it. And as soon as she wanted to take it to the next level and he didn't, he said no. Or he's like, no, I'm done. No more flirting, no more advances. She got pissed and ran to HR. He got fired. Even though everybody in the office could see she wasn't as much into it as he was, but I don't, out of fucking nowhere, he gets thrown to the fire.
Yeah, and it's a shitty thing altogether. And that's the thing is I opened up the news the other day. I think it was earlier in the week, because for me the weeks blend together now. But
right.
But like I think it was a Friday, like because my days off are Thursdays and Fridays for my day job, and so I think it was a Friday, like the day after this show from last week, or it was on the weekend. I don't remember anymore. But I was looking it up on Russell Brand, because I had a guy who told me recently, he's all like, because we did a podcast together after this podcast, and he's all like, oh yeah, I've seen stuff about it, and I'm like, okay. And he was talking about how he believes it, unfortunately, and I'm like, but
see,
but there's no proof of it though.
There's the shitty part now. It's not innocent until proven guilty, guilty until proven innocent. When the fuck do we do that? As a world, one, and two, I'm sorry, fuck you, we live in the United States. He lives in England. We basically have the same rules for the judicial system.
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until we can prove that you ain't done shit.
Yeah, and he claimed that he saw text messages or other, like, emails or whatever else that would prove that Brand did that.
No,
but I didn't see anything like that. All I saw was just the same story just copied and pasted at least 8 times on different media sites.
You know what he used the dumbass for?
What?
Because the actual text messages and emails that Russell Brand has shown, or his lawyer has, actually proves the exact opposite, because it was somewhere else when she said it happened. He has text messages and emails saying that he was supposed to be and going to this thing. And he has witnesses saying he was somewhere else on the date supposedly claimed.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't like the fact that the guy, okay, so a big reason why I'm not, like, up in arms about it, because, like, you guys have heard me, you know, be at least semi-critical of Tate, and have heard me say these things, so self-awareness, I was, like, going, okay, so now the microscope, the very same microscope that was flipped on Tate this last winter, and early spring.
Actually, no, it was literally last March.
Yeah, so it was last year. It's been like a year and change, but like
It was this March.
the very same microscope is now flipped on Brand.
Uh-huh.
And me personally, I remember how I had reacted to the Tate thing. And I also remember how I reacted to seeing any kind of anything about Tate, and
then
I was never fully convinced that he did anything.
No, but me and you talked about it. I'm like, just wait. It's all bullshit. Just wait.
Yeah.
It all come full circle, and it did.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, dude, we're almost at the freaking fish line. You win. Go away.
Mm-hmm.
I wish everybody would quit talking to me about you and shit. I don't fucking care. You didn't do anything. Be gone.
Yeah. And so it's like, for me, I was honestly snickering when I saw that Brand was being accused, and it's not because of the fact that I like the fact that he was accused. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Because you like him.
Yeah, I like Brand, and
But I knew instantly once I told you, you take the reaction I took when my sister, your wife, Goseel, came at me. Your online boyfriend Tate's been arrested for this, and that. I'm like, it doesn't prove he's done anything.
Yeah.
It's a different country. You accuse somebody of something, they throw you. I mean, even the freaking, he's talked about it on a few of the podcasts he's done. They literally, him and his brother with PPD.
Yeah.
If they talked about it on that. No. The rules in Romania is we throw you in jail, we look at your shit and everything you own and everything you do for 30 days, then we let you out.
Yeah.
If the judge says we can keep you for 30 days. If not, like the guards and everybody in the prison told him, you'll be out in 2 days. Don't worry about it. Just sit and chill.
I remember that, him talking about that with Tucker Carlson, too.
Him and his brother were talking about it.
On the fact that,
You right?
Yeah, it's just I've had phlegm in my throat for the last couple of days. But,
Same.
because of the whole head cold and everything like that. But, like, that Tate was talking about it with the prison. He was talking about with Tucker Carlson, saying that a lot of the guards that were in the prison were like telling him, they're like, we don't know why you're here, but we're gonna go with it. And
well, he also said that to what's the girl's name?
Candace Owens.
Yes, that one, Candace.
Yeah.
He said it to her. He said it to Tucker. He said it to. I can't remember what the P is in the. But you know what podcast I'm talking about.
Yeah. Not the P's Crazy P's podcast, of course.
No, it's PBD. Because of his initials.
Yeah, you barely showed me that one existed, like, a week and a half ago.
I've sent you a few of the podcasts with him.
Yeah.
And the one, did you watch what I sent you the other day?
I haven't.
About Tate from Rumble.
I haven't seen that one yet, no.
Him and his brother are literally talking about, and because Andrew's in a real good relationship with the owner of Rumble.
Yeah.
And because it was for their podcast. Because I watched it on Tuesday, but I was scrolling through their stuff trying to find the last one they did.
Mm-hmm.
It's been almost a week, I think, maybe a little bit less. But anywho, the thing that they read is that he read what the British government sent to Rumble. And I'm gonna shortcut it and not pull up the video because somebody will bitch or it'll be a complaint somewhere because it's fucking YouTube. But
Yeah.
The funny part about it was that it was quite literally he's been accused of something, and we want you to do what YouTube and other social media platforms have done, and basically, what's the word? I can't remember. Brain fart because I still have a slight headache. Don't demonetize his stuff so that way he doesn't make money. They literally told him, and this is where Andrew and Tristan went, oh, so he's been accused of something, nothing's been proven in court, but hey, help us completely give him the middle finger and fuck him so his kids can't eat.
Yeah.
You're literally trying to murder his kids because you don't like what he said, because he is being 100% honest on his podcast about how it's all bullshit, how everybody's getting screwed.
Talk about with the Tate brothers and the sponsorships?
No.
Or are you talking about Brand?
But Brand, because of the way he always, even with the sponsors, because they even sent letters, because I think his name was Chris, the owner of Rumble.
Yeah.
But it was the thing that,
that's another thing
because even
I like
Brand's
about that
talked
story.
about it on a podcast he did 1 or 2 days ago about how they've even sent the letters to his sponsors saying,
Yeah.
do you really want to sponsor a man who's been accused of SA?
Yeah, no, I when I read up on that part and then saw that the owner of Rumble essentially told them to go, screw themselves.
Oh yeah, but Tate actually read out the full letter. I just sat back and like, alright, this is a good listen. I'm just going to sit here and listen to this. This is going to be hilarious.
Oh, Tate literally read out the letter and
he read the letter
it.
that the British consulate or whatever sent to Rumble to basically tell him, don't let him make money. Make him starve. Ruin his life and make his wife and children starve.
Yeah.
Was the equivalence of it. And then they read, because Chris had given them the letter or sent them a copy of it.
Yeah.
Of what he sent them. Yeah, well, you know what? My platform's for freedom of speech. Because I don't agree with 100% of what everybody says on this platform and da-da-da-da-da-da, but he didn't break any laws. He's not, doing anything bad, so shut up.
Yeah.
Essentially is what it was. Fuck you, pussies.
Yeah, no, it was super interesting reading Chris's letter from Rumble to the British chair, UK chair Parliament,
Or
whatever they're called. They basically essentially were questioning Rumble and trying to use, they were trying to nicely ask them and kindly ask them that they do
to
exactly
slit his throat and tell him, let him bleed on his own damn crop.
And to basically let YouTube and let other platforms dictate the
deplatforming.
I know.
He said that the first day because his stuff came up and it was not when he usually put out his podcast. So I clicked it to see what the heck it was, and he was talking about that. I'm like, the fuck happened?
Yeah, it was like so this happened. And then he did another video like that and basically went into how the deep state is and how they're trying to silence him and trying to use
like they did with Tate.
Different weaponizations. Yep.
And you were talking about some of the mirroring things and how what everybody doesn't realize is, look at all this shit that happened to all these people that they hated. Let's see. One president they offed. His brother they offed. They've offed one other president, I can't remember what the other one was that got assassinated. But here's the funny part. Nowadays they don't need to assassinate you, they just throw fake or imaginary dirt out online on you to try to burn you and make you into basically a homeless, worthless, good for nothing, so that way you starve to death. You're going for the slow kill instead of actually attempting to assassinate your ass.
Yeah, I found that interesting. I was like, why is it that every time, not that I want Russell Brand to get killed or anything, or Ender Tate or anybody else, but I found it interesting that, you know, every time that, like, anything like this pops up for anyone on there that's famous or remotely at all,
Or otherwise,
otherwise, never, like, goes missing or, you know, just doesn't show up for, like, a week or two or something like that. And then you find out, oh, yeah, they basically try to kill me, like, that sort of thing. And I'm just like,
Well, I mean, they did do it to Andrew, but the funny part is, they closed all of his bank accounts, and told everybody to tell him to fuck off. He wasn't getting his money because he's no longer a valid customer at their banks.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try to screw him out of his millions.
Yeah.
But him and his brothers mentioned, no, we had to start our own bank. Because you can do that legally.
Yeah.
So basically, if you pay for his real world or, you know, like to join the war room with Andrew Tate,
Mm-hmm.
that sort of stuff, it quite literally is. That's how he's making his money.
Yeah.
On top of now being able to do his streams on Rumble.
Yeah.
Because before, he wasn't the one broadcasting his streams. Which is what I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
And now he's actually doing it himself because y'all a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, no, I recently, especially this last week after seeing people reacting to the brand thing, the brand incident, and listening to any of it, which really isn't really an incident. It was more
No, it's the brand
it's more
accusation.
Yeah, the brand accusations, allegations, because incident is implying he did something, which he didn't. He just kind of existed, did his thing on his Rumble channel and YouTube channel, and then the government decided, or the part of the government, I don't even know if they are part of the government, decided to say, screw this guy.
It was a small part, but it was a part. I mean, that's like what happened to Andrew Tate. Same place. Brits. The British are literally saying, fuck you, kiss my ass. Oh, we were told by Mikey with bigger balls to tell you go fuck yourself and shoot you in between the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go again.
Yeah. And it's sad is, I know that, you know, Brand has talked about his life openly. He's talked about
He's
the
written a
fact
couple
that,
books about it.
yeah, he's written about his recovery. He's written about, you know, him
The craziness
trying
that
to move,
happened when he was on drugs.
yeah, trying to move past that part of his life. And the fact that they're even doing this, like, I guess if we looked at it through the Tate lens, that, you know, Tate's always tried to say, is that this is a test to see if Brand can still push past it and stay sober or stay on his path.
It's a trial from God to see if he is as strong as he claims to be.
Yeah, that's what
and two,
Tate has said.
Tate likes to use the word matrix. It's just
it's just a nickname for the media.
It's the idiots basically in charge of everything. What? This guy might have done something. Here's the information that somebody else reported. Why don't you tell everybody that's what happened? Okay, have fun. Do what you did to Tate. Bye.
That's one of my favorite things about a couple of those videos
But
that he did in the interviews where he's like, but they're like, you say it's the Matrix. Do you really believe it's the Matrix? And he's like, no, it's just the nickname for the deep state. Is the nickname for the media.
Oh yeah.
And I found that funny.
But my funny part to this is, who else has this recently happened to? Johnny Depp.
That is true. That was something that John brought up.
She accused, said things happened, but him, the security guards where they lived, and other people said that's complete bullshit.
Yeah.
And stuff. And my first thought on this is, let's see, Johnny Depp, Andrew Tate, now Russell Brand. Okay, in the last 10 years, any of these women saying they've been essayed or touched, which technically still essay, I guess.
Yeah.
But by anybody who's been too high to touch, or too expensive to sue, or murder, how far back does this go that they've been doing this? How many of the cases that we've heard about politicians or this or that, or in the last, I'll say 5 years, just to cover my ass, have been all completely bullshit. And because it's believe the victim, but what if the victim's not the victim? Because the victim's the one screaming, but yet the victim's literally making the person they're calling their aggressor the victim.
Yeah.
That's kind of a weird thing. Okay. Always believe the victim. Okay, I will believe Andrew Tate and Russell Brand until they're both dead and proven in court that they're innocent. Okay, had a nice conversation. So what I said, that's exactly what you said. Because that's the current narrative in the world. Believe the victims. They are the victims. Johnny Depp was the victim.
Yeah.
Can we go any deeper than this? This apparently is the new thing. Men are victims. Okay, so let's write into laws to keep us from being bigger victims. Let's see how the feminists scream and yell about that, even though that's equality because that's the same shit they currently get.
Yeah, it's the idea of weaponization of
words
and allegations and things that they know for a fact will take down someone that they see with great power.
But see, here's the funny part. It's not just weaponization of words in that way. They're also, because I've seen it, I might have, I think, a clip in here, I don't remember. If not, I'm just going to talk about it now anyways. But some places, and I've seen this from some of the shorts, is, oh, so what do you want us to do? Restrict language that hurts other people's feelings. Oh, so take away the right that it says in the Constitution for this country, the United States of America, of freedom of speech. Because you got your feelings hurt, I have to go to jail? Or I get a fine of an outrageous amount, and if I don't pay it, then I go to jail? I thought we believed in freedom of speech. I can say whatever the hell I want. If you don't like it, you come cuss at me, and then we'll have a heated, evil argument where we're bouncing back and forth for fucking 3 hours. Nothing gets said until I'm done arguing with you and walk away. Or until you get so pissed that I'm right, you walk away. Those are like the two fucking outcomes.
Yep.
You get pissed and walk away, or I just get tired of arguing with you and walk away.
Yep, either way you slice it.
Somebody's got to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
But they're trying to restrict our language. They're bitching and cussing about whatever we say online, so we're demonetized. So no matter what you do, if you're honest and 100% truthful, you're going to get put up on the stake and lit on fire. I say bring it. It'll be a nice change.
This guy has no fears whatsoever
Oh.
when it comes to that.
No, because it's bring it. What are you going to do? Throw my character under the bus? Go for it. I got more people that like me than hate me. Bring it, motherfuckers. Because eventually everybody who hates me likes me. Whatever.
and besides, at the end of the day, like, the more and more this comes up, and if more and more it gets proven wrong, like, let's say they get to prove without a shadow of a doubt that Brand is innocent, just like
you mean
just like they're proving a shadow of a doubt Tate's innocent, you know, even though people
right.
don't like him, and they super popular to point a finger at him and go, "You asshole!"
He's misogynistic, even though he's protect women because women are soft and us men are harder because that's how we're built and programmed to be from the age of like 1.
Yeah, no, everyone has a different opinion on that. Everyone out there in the world. I'm very careful about what the shit I say.
The funny part is, either you're masculine, which they're calling misogyny now, because you can't be masculine. You're not allowed to be a male. So I'm a misogynistic because I like being a male. I like lifting heavy things. I like swimming and I like looking at boobs, ass, and VJ. So, because of the way I'm built, I'm evil. But yet you go worship not gods, pretend they're gods.
You mean false idols?
And cuss and scream at me about how I'm the bad guy and I'm evil. Wait. Don't all the religious books, the original religious book, the Quran, the Torah, the Bible, the 3 original from the biggest religions, I mean, even though, no offense, I think most of the people who preach those religions are completely full of shit because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's a whole different argument. Which goes into the Joseph Smith story.
Oh, where he felt that his calling to the Holy One.
No, because he's like, okay, all of them are saying the same thing, but they're all saying it slightly different.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what it says in the Bible. If if you are unsure, basically talk to me. God's saying pray, ask.
I still need to listen to that audio.
And he came with full faith, and literally God and Jesus came down and said, no, you're right, none of those churches are right. They don't have 100% of the truth. And this is the funny part that I like with certain things. Like,
Remember I told you a while ago that I was going to
on.
listen to both the Book of Mormon and the Holy Bible in audiobook form? Still haven't done it
Well,
yet.
they have it on the
No!
the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Ahmadi. Ahmadi. The one that Tate basically said he was a member of for Islam or Muslim.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you mean like the Mormon, the Muslims Mormon church? And my first thought is, I went and looked up, did some research. You know the reason they call it that?
Why?
Because they're the Muslims who even admit that Jesus is the Messiah, which most Muslims hate. No, that's the other guy.
Yeah.
Their religious viewpoint. But the funny part is, they're like, no, if you actually look at everything he wrote,
Yeah.
look at what the actual rules are, look at what it actually says in the Quran, it actually says, when Jesus comes back, he literally snapped it. That sucked. But
I'll have to find the pieces.
The thing is, they're literally arguing for one of the man is arguing with another man, and one of them is also a woman arguing with a Muslim man, basically saying, yeah, but what you don't realize is you're waiting for Brian, who's supposed to be the big prophet for Muslims?
Allah?
No, that's God. Muhammad he was just another prophet, but he was the prophet after Jesus. Jesus is still the Messiah.
Yeah.
The Christ child. And because they're telling them that, well, that goes against this rule. Actually, it doesn't. Because if that is the rule, that there is no prophet after the last prophet when he dies, and there will be no prophet after him to come back, then technically that means that he was the last. By your viewpoint, that means Muhammad was the last prophet after Jesus died and got resurrected from the dead and said, I'll come back when it's my time to come back.
Yeah.
And this also goes into the whole Mayan and South America and the Native Americans. Even though they're South, they're still Native. Basically, when the guys came over from Italy, the white beards or the brown beards with the long hair,
Yeah.
who the fuck does that look like? 90% of Jesus. What does it say in the Book of Mormon? It tells you about when Jesus came to the New World. So my first thought, anytime I've ever heard that from the Muslim, not Muslim, right? Too many fucking places and name of people. Aztecs and the other one with the name from down there.
Yeah.
It's what they don't realize is literally. Some people are like, well, it's their mythos. What if it's not a mythos? What if the guy they met was Jesus after he got resurrected, and then when he left his 12 disciples, he literally came to the United States, and that's why when the guys came over and they looked like Jesus with the long hair and the beard, they literally thought it was Jesus because that's the way the guy's always been described.
Yeah.
Brown hair with a long beard.
Yeah.
So that's in my head, well, and also because I was raised on it, but also I always, look for holes in everybody's stories. I mean, me and you've talked hours on that.
Yep.
It's the thing of, which y'all don't realize, is the Muslim story, the Quran, and the Holy Bible, and even the Mormon slightly altered Bible, because it was him basically talking to the spirit, whichever spirit or prophet it was that got sent to him, or him talking to God. Because it's like having telepathy. God wants to talk to you, he'll talk to you. Directly
Yeah,
to
you
your
hear
fucking head.
like this other voice in your head that's not your own.
Yeah.
It's not even the narrator voice. It's just an extra ethereal, mythical voice. That
Yeah,
wasn't
but see,
there.
the thing is, if literally God's telling, well, okay, that's what the King James is as close as you're going to get to the purest, and just the regular King James. But if you buy the LDS Church, Mormon, Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, whatever freaking title you want to put on them,
Yeah.
Bible, if you actually look at that compared to just a regular Bible, King James Version, just the basic one you can buy from like Barnes & Noble,
Yep.
the difference in them is only slight. And why is it slight? Because it was translated wrong. Because you can only translate something so many times before you're literally just going is what they said before they let him put his giant cock in their ass. And then they went, hallelujah, woohoo! That's not what the fuck happened, man. You made up a weird ass story. What was the original story? That's what I remember from when I got told. It's like 1,000 years down the line. The only difference is 1,000 years down the line playing phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of shit missing. But a lot of the stuff he was informed of with putting out a more correct original translation of what the King James Version was.
Yeah.
And what it should have been in the couple spots where they mistranslated or fucked up. Now, that's a whole different argument between the Jewish community and the Christian community. But my first thought is, oh, okay, so they got it wrong. Oh, you mean like they get everything wrong? Okay.
Yeah.
It's the first thought in my head. Oh, they're getting it wrong like they always do. Alright.
Pretty much.
Because 90% of the people who also scream about loving Jesus and loving God and everything, it's like, yeah, well, you're a worthless, good for nothing bitch, cuss, complain, judgment on you. It's like, do you even read your fucking book?
Right.
Or you just listen to the preacher telling you that we're all going to hell unless we say, yes, Jesus, I love you.
Yeah, and I've heard some really, really powerful sermons from different preachers, and the irony is that they had the charisma, they had the passion, they had the veracity,
but they don't have all the facts.
Yeah, but it was beyond hate filled and some of it
Evil.
beyond
Completely
racist
evil.
and shit. Yeah, no, it was bad.
But see,
it's
that's
like, well,
why I
wow,
like the LDS Church. That's why I've
people
also
buy into this shit.
kind of started to go into the Ahmadi.
Ahmadi.
I think that's how it's said. But anywho, basically the Mormons of the Muslims church.
Yeah.
I've literally looked at their how literally somebody saying, do y'all not realize y'all mistranslated what the Quran actually says? What Muhammad actually told you guys?
Yeah, I think I remember you talking about the Ahmadi. In fact, I think
Andrew was the first one who
Yeah.
talked about it, and
I remember him
think
talking
it
about it
was
briefly.
PPBD when he was doing the interview with them, because he asked him which, or might have been Candace Owen. I don't remember which interview or which podcast interview format did it, but it was basically them talking to him, and one of them asked him, and I'm pretty sure it was PBD, whatever. It's three letters that sounds very similar. PBD.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, really? I mean, it's easy to tell everybody, but you gotta make sure they don't think you're saying PBB or
Yeah.
BBP, BBD. It's like, okay, say that again. But anywho, it's the thing of, they said that they're the Mormons of the Muslims, and my first thought is, oh, so somebody who got a revelation or was told by the Spirit, with God, the Holy Ghost, whichever ethereal entity who can be physical and non-physical all at the same time, or depending on what they want to do.
Yeah.
It's the thing that they were told that Muhammad fucked up, just like Joseph Smith got told the Catholics are the shittiest church in the world. That's literally Satan's church, and all the rest of them who ran away from the Catholic Church only have part of the story. They don't have the full story. Everybody literally threw Joseph Smith under the fucking goddamn
Bus.
There was no buses. They threw him under the. They literally. They treated him like he was the most evil. Like he was Adolf Hitler, and you actually got Adolf Hitler and got to torture him.
Yeah.
And my thought is, if that's the Muslim version of it, and with as much as I believe and have been told by other entities, ethereal, not ethereal, whatever you want to call them,
yeah,
that I'm in the right church, my first thought is, oh wow, I need to look into this. See how deep it goes, because if these two are the most, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormon, LDS, whatever you want to call it, what if they're the most Christian church? Because, and I know you've had bad experiences, we've talked about it, but it's the thing that if they actually understand what the church is and what the lessons are, no matter what you do, I will forgive you for everything you have ever done against me, whether you knew you were doing it against me or not. Instant forgiveness. But you also have to remember that you deserve forgiveness. This was less than a couple Sundays back. But in remembering that you deserve forgiveness, you also have to remember to ask the jackass in charge for forgiveness. If you don't ask him, he's literally the last check mark on the fucking list of people to ask.
Yeah.
And you can even ask him, especially if you don't remember, or if you're not sure if you did something to somebody. Because these are one of the prayers I go through. Forgive me for everything I know I've done, that I couldn't stop myself from doing, or that I know that I did in a fit of rage and I couldn't stop myself. The stuff I don't know I've done, forgive me for everybody I've hurt, for anybody I've done something wrong to in their opinion, whether it's yours or not.
Yeah.
And whether it's mine or not, whether I did something. I ask for forgiveness for all those things I've done and everything I will ever do, because I know I would repeat this accidentally constantly. Because I'm stuck in this meat bag.
Yeah.
No, we've gone over my whole meat bag theory on that. But anywho.
Yeah. I honestly, I feel like people, there's a lot of anger towards any type of spirituality or religion when it comes to humanity.
Which brings us to our next soundbite whenever
It
we finish.
is super, super interesting how basically, in general, you'll either touch a hot button with someone that you don't even know,
Right.
or you will touch a hot button with someone you know intimately, whether it's your
And
brother,
you didn't even realize
whether
it was
it's
a
your
hot button.
parent, whether it's your spouse, whether or not you know it's a hot button or not. And even after they tell you it's a hot button, and you say, oh, and you back off, or you put, you just kind of try your hardest to do some recovering from it,
Well,
they'll still come at you. And there's a lot of anger when it comes to
Why
spirituality.
is that a hot button option for you? Are you mad at God?
Yeah.
And usually when they say that one, because you've asked me this question and this soundbite popped up, I'm like, oh no, this goes perfect with some of the stuff you've asked me. So you ready for it?
Sure.
Oh, you're gonna do that.
Oh, this is good. Listen to this. Why does God allow cruelty and suffering in the world?
There's two types of cruelty and suffering. So if we're talking about human cruelty and suffering, because God does not intervene to prevent people from exercising their free will, because to do so would be to deprive human beings of the choice that makes them human. It is the sin of the Garden of Eden, basically, is that God could make you an angel, in which case you wouldn't have the choice to do the wrong thing. But so long as we are going to allow for cause and effect in a universe shaped by your choice, cruelty and evil are going to exist. And then there's the question of just the natural cruelty and vicissitudes of life. And the answer there is, I think that God obscures himself. I think that if God were to appear in all of his glory to people on a regular basis, I think that would make faith, you wouldn't need it. There'd be no such thing as faith, right? It would just be reality. Right? Nobody has to prove to you that the sun rises every day. If God is to allow us the choice to believe in him, which is the ultimate choice from a religious point of view, then he's going to have to obscure himself behind tragedy and horror and all those other things. And this is a fairly well-known Kabbalistic concept called Tzimtzum in Judaism, which is the idea that when God created the universe, he sort of withdrew in order to make space for all of these things to happen.
Oh, this is good.
Interesting.
Because we've gone over it before. It's like, why doesn't he intervene? It's not his job. He literally said, y'all want to come back and live in paradise, you have to prove yourself like I and everybody before you in existence ever has or will have to.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing about it is that, to a certain token, what I noticed, because I have a lot of people that I observe when I'm on media, like whether it's
regular
Facebook friends, whether it's family members, whether it's anyone, and there are those who accept it, completely. Like
That's what it is.
Like they accept it like the sun rises, and then they're
like me.
right, and then you got other people who do question it, and they've got like the whole that I could tell they have a lot of religious trauma. Or they have someone in their family or someone in their personal life that causes them anguish.
Happened to them, or they shouldn't have done that to me. If God was real, He'd have stopped it. No. That is the shitty clusterfuck of the existence we live in, because it's, you want free will, so that way you can prove that you're worthy. Here you go.
See, and for me, it's like, I don't even think it has anything to do with worthiness. Like, that's more of an Odin thing. Because,
that's where my brain goes. Because you try your hardest, you ask for forgiveness for the sins, and try not to recommit them.
Right.
And if you recommit them, then you ask to be forgiven for your weakness in recommitting the sin. But the thing is also, you ask for forgiveness for the stuff that you didn't even realize you did that was a no-no on the list of all no-nos.
Right.
So that'd be like, you go to court, you ask for forgiveness. You go back more than 2 or 3 times. They're like, no, you're just repeating this. You're just robbing from everybody's house so you can go get your crank. Shut up. Go spend 6 months to 6 years in a box, where we can literally hold you down and institutionalize you to not be a fucking crazed fucking druggie, because we're literally gonna dry you out.
Dry you out meaning get them to
You don't
recovery.
get your drugs. You gotta go to rehab and jail because you keep stealing, murdering, raping, whatever your thing is. We're gonna throw you in a box. You have to go through therapy and all this other shit because you've gone to the level of extreme that we need to throw you in a box. Because we're tired of seeing you here. You keep asking for forgiveness. We keep giving it to you, but we have no more forgiveness to give you. See, that's a human concept. No more left. That also goes into my concept of infinity. There's an infinite amount of forgiveness. But you also have to forgive yourself for what you did and allow yourself to be forgiven by God, or whatever name you want to put on God, Allah.
Yeah, that's the thing that I found interesting and fascinating is that,
and all the other names.
Over half the time, especially over like 50% of the time, because people will say that their daughters or their family is what keeps them sober, or this or that, thing. But in all reality, self-imposed, sobriety is probably the most effective. Because then it's not
my thought on that is, and no offense to anybody who's actually used their family or thinks it's their family or their children. The reason that is their one thing, because in this mortal form you need a reason or you need a reward. Your reward for not doing the drugs is being able to spend time with your wife and or kids. So that way she doesn't leave you and run off. Because you are quite literally proved you're worthless, good for nothing. That is why that comment gets brought up. But what they don't realize is it's not because of their wife and their kids. They did it so that way they wouldn't have to deal with the conditions that were put in front of them. So it is a way to ask for forgiveness and get the forgiveness you want. Because they will forgive you, and if they forgive you, that means they didn't leave you and let you just rot in your own bullshit.
Yeah.
So they put themselves up as this is your goal. Either you want to spend time with me or you don't.
Yeah.
You want to be a father or a dad or a husband or you don't. If you don't, I'm done. Now, in situations like that, that's where divorce is valid. because they're literally wrecking themselves and trying to wreck you and the children.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Especially-
shut up, kiss my ass, keep trucking.
Especially if the
No.
person
Unless there's
has
a few
done
others.
the stealing or has done the lying or has
drugs
done
and all that
manipulating
stuff.
just to get their fix, then they're basically willingly hurting their family members, like whether they're
And
kids
themselves.
or anybody else, and themselves. Most of all themselves, because they're the ones putting that in their body. But you're getting your fix and stuff. But like people that are doing it while using hard-earned money, whether they're not stealing, not such a bad thing, but it's still an internal thing they have to fix because it's an internal thing that's going on.
Woo. The thing they have to fix.
You're pulling at me, yawning.
The thing they have to fix is not the needing to fix. The fix is a fake high, fake happy. The issue is they get stuck on the happy, and part of the human existence in these human forms is once you've eaten, drinking, or taken something so many times, you have to up the dose to get the same effect.
Yep.
If you smoke pot for 5 to 10 years, you have to up the dose to get the effect.
Yeah, because the same level
Because your
of
body becomes tolerant. That's
Yep.
the way we are built. We're built to become so tolerant that nothing, if we push ourselves to that extent, nothing natural, supernatural, or otherwise could hurt us because we have turned ourselves into an indestructible entity, which in my opinion is what you become after you become resurrected. So if I can turn my body into basically equivalent of a resurrected body, when I get resurrected, it's not going to be that much of a change. It'll be an easy, oh yeah, no, this is just a better fit suit. And
Yeah.
keep going.
And I'm not trying to say that I have an issue with anybody doing any drugs at all. Probably the hardcore ones you probably should stay away from because they're not so safe.
We don't have
but, like,
issues because we've even talked about it on the
Yeah.
podcast about. No, we legalize everything. We just regulate it. No, you got your 5 ounces for the day. That's all you are legally allowed.
or whatever. If you do,
But I mean, that's the
because if you do
thing.
recreational, then you can smoke as
Well,
much as
yeah,
you
but
want.
see,
really.
what I'm saying is, even with the recreationals like pot and whatnot,
Yeah.
my only thing is there are restrictions. Okay, you have to keep track so that way you're not driving under the influence. You're not this, or certain things you're not doing while under the influence.
Yeah.
Weed being legal doesn't bother me. Whew. Some of the other drugs being legal, 90% of them don't bother me at
That's
all.
getting to me.
Yeah. I didn't grab an energy drink out of my trunk.
Oops.
But I mean, it's the weird little things that, because if you could get it without having to pay the outrageous prices of a dealer, which is also where the issue with the weed comes in, because the government's made it so hard for anybody and so expensive for anybody to get a permit or go through the steps with all the pay you have to do to take all the classes and all the other stuff to be a certified hemp or weed company, that it quite literally is more. That's why weed and other drugs are so high, because the drug king, basically the cartel, can sell it to you for pennies on the dollar of what you'd actually buy it from the government. Because also the government's overtaxing it. That's like they overtax tobacco. They overtax. Well, okay, I can't really say it's the government, but it's the government in collaboration with Big Pharma, because as soon as there's insurance, you get charged 10. I swear, it's anywhere between 2 to 10 times what the actual, drugs cost.
Yeah.
If you tell them, well, I don't have insurance. Oh, okay, you get the regular price. $200 instead of $10,000. Kiss my ass, because I know you guys making the drug putting it in a pill or giving it to me in liquid form to put into my own body, like insulin, does not cost you that much to make and or ship.
Yeah.
That might be how much it costs to ship the entire amount from the factory to the freaking warehouse to distribute it. But when you're done, I'm not paying 10 grand for insulin or any other drug. When that's how much you literally spent to make it and ship it to the pharmacy or to whoever's over their head, so that way they have stock.
Yeah.
Fuck you. How much it actually costs to make and how much is it going to cost to get this much off you directly then? Well, you can't get from the direct manufacturer. Then it's all bullshit, it's all lies, and I'm not paying $5 grand for insulin, Viagra, or any fucking thing else. Kiss my ass, suck my dick, and go to hell.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to pay that amount of money for something that's supposed to save your life, like insulin.
But see, here's the funny part. It's also like with the doctor. Why do they charge you $100 when you go into the doctor if you're paying in cash? Because they're used to charging $150 to $500 to the insurance, where you're only paying $20 of it if you have decent insurance.
Yeah.
I mean, even if your deductible is $50, out of the $200 to $300 they're sending to the fucking insurance, just so that way they actually get their amount. Because the insurance system, Big Pharma, the whole thing's a complete clusterfuck and it's all lies. Depression, you're not depressed, you're just too damn bored because you're not doing enough shit. Do more shit, do so much shit. You don't have 5 seconds to think about being depressed. Hey look, you weren't depressed today, and look at all the shit you got done.
No, depression's also
That's where I also agree
factor
with
of emptiness.
But see, from my headspace goes to, it's like Tate says. It's, I'm so busy, I don't have enough time to be depressed.
I mean, it doesn't make the depression go away, per se. It just
But
means
it
that
does, because
you
you're
can
so
ignore it.
busy being a human, building, creating, or doing 1,000,001 things to keep your existence, your world, and your box
Yeah.
from falling in on itself and killing you and anybody else, that quite literally you don't have enough time to think about if you're a complete fuck up because you're too hard. You're working so damn hard that you can't be a fuck up. Nothing you can do is worthless because you're working and doing so much. You don't have 5 seconds to think about depression because you're so damn busy. You literally are worn out when you go to bed. You only had 5 seconds to think. You literally lay down and pass out. When you wake up, I hate mornings. Drink your coffee or whatever drug of choice you need to be awake and start the damn thing and keep moving like a fucking psychopath. Because my thing is, psychopaths are not bad. The psychopaths that are bad are the ones who feel like they've been shifted by everybody. But that has nothing to do with you. That is their own personal bullshit, which means they need to go to a psychiatrist and figure out why they want to kill, maim, and destroy everybody because they got fucking something traumatic happen to them as a kid. Guess what, motherfucker? That's called being a human. Shut up, move on. And I sound more like a psychopath, sociopath than anybody else because I'm like, shut the fuck up, get up, keep moving. That's me. No, that's honest. That's one of the reasons I first jumped, when he started to become famous, I'm like, who the hell, what the hell? And I jumped in to see what it was.
Yeah.
It quite literally became, he preaches literally the same crap I say. Shut up. It doesn't matter how you feel or what's going on. Keep moving. Disney said it. Keep moving forward. It's one of his little catchphrase sayings.
Yeah.
That was in Meet the Robertsons.
Yeah, I think I remember that. It was like 16-ish when that movie came out.
I don't know. I remember watching it like fucking 20 times in the last however many years since it's been out, just because I like the movie.
I got a big head and little arms, and I don't think this plan's going very well. Master! The T-Rex. One of my favorite parts of the entire movie.
This plan was thought out
Yeah.
fully.
Master!
Yeah, you're literally the dumbest fucking in the world. Instead of grabbing a velociraptor or something that could kill the kid, you literally grabbed a T-Rex. There's no offense. In my head, because of the way the T-Rex's arms are short, or because that just happened to be.
Yeah, I
my
never
thought on
understood
it
that.
is, I don't think that's proper.
I don't ever
I
understood that
think
about
the
that
small
dinosaur.
arms from the ones they have found, although they found a couple where it's like that. But see, what if the small arms is not the T-Rex fully grown? What if that's like a teenager T-Rex? They haven't grown their arms fully out.
We've
They
also
haven't
never seen
hit
it.
maturity.
We've also never seen a big, giant, colossal T-Rex that seems fully grown with long
But
arms.
My thing also is, it wouldn't even be long arms. What if T-Rex is literally what everybody calls the hyena? Even though the hyena's hunt, it's the propaganda that's been put on the hyena. He literally comes in after the lion and whoever is done eating and picks the scraps. What if that was the T-Rex? That's why his arms never grew out long, because he quite literally was waiting, or came when he smelled blood, to eat the leftover meat that another predator didn't eat, or from the group of velociraptors or whatever the other meat eater smaller animal was.
The Deinonychus, Velociraptor,
There's a whole slew of them.
different ones.
And you have like 5 or 6 different types of velociraptors.
Yep.
But it's the thing of, actually I think there's 20 now. Anywho, before I go off on a dinosaur tangent, it's the thing of, he's quite literally, he's like the hyena. The only reason he's big is because there's so many little things around him that don't eat the full freaking other dinosaur, because they're so tiny. And because they leave so much meat behind, he eats so much, he becomes gigantic by the time he gets to that point of that evolution, or because that's what he turned into.
Yeah, Gigantor.
Yeah, he's literally the Gigantor of velociraptors. Because what of his arms? He was literally a velociraptor because nobody ate anymore, because everybody was full. He literally ate the whole fucking Stegosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, and because of the how big the Stegosaurus was, and him eating so much, he ended up getting the genetics in him to be the bigger raptor. And he screwed his wife, or his mate. She had eggs, and they were bigger, and so on and so forth down the road until you have a T-Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex. The only reason he's gigantic is because he became that big because he had more meat to eat and he wasn't the chicken shit. So he became the dominant male, so his genetics got passed on.
I'm really, really wanting to know the answer to this question.
What, how long is...
No. Why does the T-Rex
have short arms?
have small arms? As tyrannosaurs and their theropod cousins evolved larger heads and a bipedal posture, they used their forelimbs less. They started to use their heads more for catching and killing prey. As a result, the forelimbs didn't grow as much as the rest of their bodies did, according to this idea.
Yes, ideal. Theory! Theory! That's like the theory of relativity. All the psychic things. They're not laws, they're just theories. Which means we don't have a fucking clue.
I don't know, I just...
I found this on the web, for which means we don't have
Shut the fuck up, bitch! Nobody's talking to you, ho.
That was so funny.
That was so random as shit. See, bitch is always listening.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Does Karnage have a big dick?
Yes.
I'm waiting for her to answer.
She's not me. Well, she won't talk to you. You're not me. You don't have my voice.
Their arms got corresponding smaller, perhaps to help them balance. So there's ideas of why the T-Rex
Okay,
has small
if that's the
arms.
case, then how come if you cut off your big toe, you fall around like a fucking idiot, not if you cut off your tiny toe? That's literally what you said. The only reason you have a pinky toe is so you don't fall over and die. Actually, that's the reason you don't have your big toe. The pinky toe, if you cut it off, you don't fall over and die. It just makes it harder.
Do you understand just how deadly the T-Rex would be if they actually had longer arms, though? Oh my god.
Do you mean if the T-Rex was actually built like a bodybuilder in a Tyrannosaurus Rex form?
Yeah, because imagine like having
But
some
see,
guy with big head.
What if that is the real reason that all the dinosaurs died? T-Rexes got so big and so badass because they started growing big ass arms that they accidentally killed off everything. They started killing off each other, and then what happens? The last few died. End of them because the humans figured out how to hide in caves better than the T-Rexes could get to us. So we end up being the last freaking entity that made it out of that era of existence. How's that sound for you? Hey, I got theories all day and all night, homie. You know this.
Why was T-Rex so smart? Rex might have had in its telencephalon, the more highly developed part of the brain, also commonly known as the cerebrum, consisting of two hemispheres. This chunk of neural anatomy is responsible for the animal's cognition, amongst other stuff.
But they technically don't know how big the brain is because they've never found a brain inside of a fucking goddamn fossilized. No, but see, here's the thing. What if? Here's the thing. Big head, tiny brain, lots of liquid.
Yeah.
All he knows how to do is kill and fuck.
Yeah.
Look, he looks like a human. He's just gigantic with tiny arms. How do you jerk off? I don't. I just fuck.
There's actually dinosaur porn too.
Oh, I know there is.
Where,
but
like,
I mean,
women
if you
fuck
think
T-Rexes.
about it, it's the thing. Why do they have small arms? What if the reason for the small arms is because how tall they are and how tall the females are? She lifts her tail. He puts his dick in her. But yet, because of how tall they both are, he literally just falls over and his arms are there to keep him up.
That's literally what one of the answers on this thing said was that it was like to prop himself up or to keep balance or things like that. Or
But see, it's not balance. It's only balance while fucking. Because I mean, it literally T-Rex and most dinosaurs are thought of as just, they're literally just animals. What do animals do? Eat, fuck, shit, and piss.
Yeah.
Now, here's the funny one for you. What about this? What is it? I just said the name. Stegosaurus?
Yeah, Stegosaurus.
They have this spiky backs. How the hell did he fuck her? With the stabby backs.
Yeah.
Or is it like the pelican? No, the one with the big plume. The ring. Oh, this is what happens when I have a headache.
The plume.
Yeah, the big tail.
Oh. You mean the Ankylosaurus?
No, I'm talking about bird.
Oh, the bird?
Yeah, the bird with the big tail.
Bird with big
Rainbow tail.
big rainbow tail.
I'm having
Dinosaur.
a brain fart. No, not dinosaur. Just regular bird.
Oh, you mean wow, my brain is not working either.
Just hit go, motherfucker. Yeah, that thing.
That thing.
Where's the name, asshole? You're scrolling through. No, the one on top.
Peacock.
Yeah, is that kind of like the whole peacock thing? The women don't have the horns, just like the peacock females don't have the big pretty feathers.
Yeah.
So the man's got the horns because he's protecting. Plus, some of them have a solid like rock tail or stab tail.
Yeah.
So he literally fucking the wife.
Yeah.
And then gets off and goes and does shit. So she doesn't have things. Or whenever she gets horny, they fall off, like deer horns or moose horns.
Yeah.
He fucks her, and then they start growing back. See, randomness in my head. You want to go there, we'll go there.
Well, at least we're not talking about controversial shit anymore. Let's see here. Peacock. See, I couldn't even understand, like, I couldn't even remember the name Peacock, because even though I've told Andrew and I've, like, given,
Quit peacock.
Jonah shit for that, I'm just like going, they're fucking Peacock or whatever. And then, like, you asked me about bird with rainbow tail, and I'm like, I know the bird you're talking about, but my brain is not summoning the word.
Right? Yeah, my brain's just like, I see the picture. What the fuck was the name?
Yeah. Plus, there's also
Yeah,
a
no, I've
streaming
heard
app
you
called
tell your
Peacock.
brother quit peacocking.
Yeah, there's even a app called Peacock, and because of the fact that HBO Max took off the word HBO off the front and just called themselves Max,
So-
Peacock was like, we are not going to change our name and cut off the back half of the name because it would be just called Cock.
Right? No, okay, here's the funny part to HBO Max.
Uh-huh.
HBO became one with fucking Cinemax.
Yeah.
Now Cinemax has taken off the condom and HBO and said, fine, you can have the name. That's where my brain instantly goes.
Yeah, no, I found it really awesome when I found the meme, because I trying to find where it was again. Well, here's a funny one. Where do bad rainbows go? Prism. It's a light sentence. It gives them time to reflect.
Alright, well, while you're trying to
I
find
systematically heard a bunch of groans.
it- Yeah. Alright.
And I just wanted to know, are there accommodations for people who struggle with time blindness and being on time?
So just so y'all have context, she pulled up to a job interview and asked them if they had any accommodations for people with time blindness. That's what they call it now. And this is my thing, right? How come people that's time blind, as she said, ain't ever accidentally early? Like, just be late. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't know what time it is, you ain't never accidentally pulled up 30 minutes early? No. So, I don't want to just make a video flame me like everybody else probably gonna do. So I'm gonna give you some real helpful tools that'll help you out with that time blindness. So for the blindness part, you can get you a pair of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? These
Glasses.
I don't like to wear mine personally, but I ain't gonna front. I can't see without them, so I put them on and I can see what's going on in the world. And then as for the time part, well, they got this thing right here called a watch. And with these new glasses, you know what I'm saying, you can watch it and see what time it is.
And I just wanted to know,
But I mean, when that popped up, my first thought was, yeah, that sounds like some stupid people. This is my reason for being late. I'm time blindness. Or I have time blindness. You have a phone, right, motherfucker? Yeah? You have no excuse to get the fuck out of my office. Because your phone is literally a clock in your pocket, you lazy piece of shit.
What's even funnier is when he pointed out, he's like, you never see someone to be 30 minutes early to a job. It's always just
Right?
late.
Yeah. See, it's an excuse to get right with shit. Ain't it always, though?
Yeah, he's all like, cool, what are these motherfuckers on? And he like starts putting on his glasses, and then he's like, and then for your time
He even said,
thing.
these are my glasses. I don't like wearing them,
Yeah.
but I need them so I can see the fucking world.
And I see what's going on in the world. I found the meme. So HBO says on HBO, I am May 23rd, HBO Max becoming Max, and it includes all of HBO hit series, movies, reality, and more. Stream on Max. And then Peacock, of course, tweeted, I know you're all very disappointed, but I will not be dropping the first half of my name anytime soon. Yeah, it's Peacock. So, they're not going to drop the P off of it.
Alright, here's the next one. You'll think it's
So
funny.
women have a fantastic superpower when it's appropriately used, but like everything on Earth, if you have a superpower or any kind of power at all and it's put in the wrong direction, it can be destructive. Walter is going through a dam, and Power City is not going through a dam, it's a flood. So we have all this emotionality put in the wrong direction, and now they're in positions of power or whatever, or they're controlling the culture, or they're controlling how households are run, and they can fall for these emotional traps, these very simple, basic emotional traps. It's for grandma. The most basic, dumb level. And I sit there and say, grandma's 98. 98-year-olds die.
it's so true. It's so true. We all know exactly what he's referring to. It's for Nan. Oh, well, we don't want to give it to Nan. That was it. That was the manipulation. And everyone fell for it.
So
I mean, yeah. Don't want to give it to Grandma.
That wasn't the reason I got it. I got it just because I wanted to see if I get superpowers.
Yeah.
No
That
more
was-
than
that
I
was-
already have, so you know.
Well, that was the joke I kept making, remember? Like,
Oh, yeah, you'd make the joke, and I'm like, well, I'll find out for you. I'm gonna go get
yeah,
it.
you know, every freaking time we went to the gym, or every time we talked to anybody about the vaccine, he, of course, you know, got over the joke real fast, because he's just like, shut up. But, like, everyone else found it funny, because they'd be like, wait, you go to
Well,
the
because
vaccine?
it
I'm like,
was
yeah.
new for them. I was like, I've heard this joke like 5 times. Okay.
And I'm just like, going, no, I did not become magnetic, and no, I did not gain superpowers. Damn it.
Oh, and this is the one we listened to a few minutes ago. Or I did.
What's happening with you? We might have a government shutdown by Saturday. That sounds huge. What? Are you guys like broke or something? No. We still got money. It just means that the Congress failed to fund like government agencies before the fiscal year ends. Basically, Congress failed to do its job. Yeah, it's literally the job that they were hired to do. What's gonna happen with you then? Well, now federal government workers are expected not to come to work. But necessary workers such as like law enforcement or health emergency workers. Oh yeah, those are gonna be working, but without pay. They're gonna be working without pay until like Congress finds a way to like fund the agency. Yeah, but guess what? Congress does get paid. The most stupid system I've ever heard. Like, so they fail to do their job and they get paid while others who are not related to that don't. Yeah, so hopefully we don't shut down. But anyways, welcome to America.
I've seen that guy a couple times now because Nico was showing me one of his videos.
Oh, I like his shit. Because he's like,
funny.
what the fuck's going on in Italy? What the hell's going on in Germany? What the fuck, Canada?
Yeah.
Because he does it to everybody. I just sit back and go, oh, this is going to be funny shit.
Yeah, no, it's beyond unknown. I have.
And that one came out today.
Yeah, it's boggled me. Like, that whole system has boggled me since, like, when I was, like, 15, 16 is when the government teacher, I think it was his teacher, first told us that the government can shut down and the government Congress will get paid, but then the workers themselves won't be. And I was like, wait, how does that work? Like, wait, what do you mean? And I was like,
you
15.
know what we do? We all have to get in our planes that we can't afford because nobody's getting paid. We'll have plenty of cops and people who can kill you with the medical equipment with us. So we'll literally all get on our planes. We'll all go to D.C., walk into Congress, not like they did in the bullshit January 6th. That's not exactly what the fuck happened, you stupid bitches. But anywho, we literally go there and we go and we're like, hey, assholes! Since y'all get paid and all these cops and emergency service people don't get paid, they're here to take it out of your fucking wallet. I hope you have your fucking credit card ready, because we got pay machines, bitch. I'm taking your goddamn... I will be here every fucking week to get their chunk of their money out of y'all's asses. You know why? Because if y'all are going to get paid and they're not, look who gets to pay for their damn services.
We do.
No, we're not paying for shit. Because the police, and if the EMTs aren't getting paid and the fire services aren't getting paid, fine. Since you fucked up Congress and completely screwed everything and are shutting down the government, guess what you get to do? All of y'all's millions of dollars that y'all have gathered in the last 30 to 50 years you've been on fucking Congress, you old fucks, especially you old fucks.
Yeah.
You literally, we're emptying all of your accounts right now, and you're gonna give the funds to me, and I'm gonna go to each police station and give them a lump sum every week.
Yeah.
I'll be busy, and then with me being the loud, brash asshole, you'll have to be there to calm everybody down, and then they'll give me their money, and then I'll do it, and they'll be like, oh yeah. Write my name in. Everybody in the United States. Timothy Potter for president in 2024.
Yep.
How fast would I get voted in, bitch?
Yeah, especially if
He didn't pay fees. He's on disability, bitch.
Especially if you're like going around like making sure people are getting paid and shit. Like there's a giant difference between someone like, for instance, the idiots on the Republican debate stage. Making promises,
The idiots
talking to the
trying
camera.
To get elected.
Yeah, they're trying to get hired, and like there's a difference between Ron DeSantis saying the same scripted response every fucking time or a similar one, or any of them, and you literally just going up to people and being like, "Here's your check, have a good day." Wait, what? Oh yeah, I got them to pay you and stuff after they shut down.
Don't worry about it. Congress has no money. We have all the money. Here's your $1,000 for the next month. Give everybody $1,000. Like, I can't afford my life on $1,000. Well, you better figure it out. And how the hell are you gonna tell me to do that? Because I'm on disability and I only get $1,000 a month. If I gotta fucking do it, So the fuck is everybody else? Because I just got all the money. And guess what? Everybody gets paid $1,000. No more, no less. Y'all want a bitch? Alright, let's talk about it. Everybody want $2,000 a month? Yep. Alright, let's go fix the disability laws then so that way I can get my money.
How fast do you think it would fix itself if everyone's funds within Congress were withheld? How fast do you think the shit would change?
It wouldn't, because it's like, fine. If I'm not getting paid, I'm not coming anyways. Fuck off.
You just have a very empty fucking city hall or a very empty Congress
Let
building.
the Congress be empty, because it's like, alright, cool. Nobody showed up from work. Alright, bring me the paperwork. They're all fired. Stamp, sign. Stamp, sign. Stamp, sign. Bring in a camera in here while I'm stamping and signing all these assholes with pink slips. Stamp, sign. Hi, fellow Americans and fucking assholes who live here illegally. I'll take care of you douchebags in a month. Okay, next. Since Congress isn't here to try to fix the issue they created, and I'm firing them all right now with all this paperwork. We're having an emergency election in 3 months to vote new people into Congress. Oh yeah, and I'm firing all the Senate too, so make sure you have people for that too. Alright, see y'all in a week. Have a wonderful day. Turn off the camera, asshole. Stamp, sign. You know me, I just keep going. I don't give a shit. I'm as brashish as Donald Trump, but I do it in a weird way that apparently everybody likes. So, either they'll all try to assassinate me within the first 6 months of me being in charge, or they'll all love me so much because everybody's getting their equal share. Like everybody always bitches complains. The only people who bitch and complain about getting their fair share is people like, this is like 1,000 times less than what I owe, what I usually get. Yeah, well, welcome to being just a regular human. This is communism. Well, if you didn't break the fucking system for a democratic or a constitutional republic, I wouldn't have had to turn us to this.
And besides,
because that's exactly what communism is. Everybody's supposed to get $2 to $3 a month.
Yeah.
No matter where you work, but you have to go to work and work your job. You're not getting a paycheck from them, you're getting your paycheck from the government. Because also, you cannot freaking, what is it, bribe or turn me to the dark side because I live there every day. Bring it. What are they going to do? No, they're going to kill you. Cool. You know me. Oh, look. They tried to shoot me. They didn't even go through the fucking bulletproof vest. Get better bullets, bitch! Oh, you know I'd scream that just to piss them off.
What's even funnier is that so many of, like, I think that there's a lot of people out there that just don't post about it anymore because they're so exhausted. Like, they're beyond burnt out. And, like...
The only way we all get together
a lot of us just want them out.
If we all get on Twitter, we all agree that we're going back to the United States of assholes and the Confederacy. I see you fuckers in the lower 25.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, they can kiss my fucking ass. Because if it comes back down to Civil War, I'm sorry, I'm one of the guys fighting versus DC. And if everybody agrees versus DC, then we have a revolution. We take this bitch over and hit reset and start from scratch. We take the original Constitution, we take off all the amendments, and we figure out how we want to run the current world we live in with a new Constitution, because the fucking assholes in charge keep adding new rules, which aren't fucking working, because if they were working, we wouldn't be in this clusterfuck we've been in for the last... What was the last fuck up? 2008?
Yeah,
when everything went down the shitter.
That was that's because I was.
And it all started with 9/11.
Becoming an adult during that time frame, so yeah, it would have been about 2008.
2008 when it finally went through, but it all started in 9/11, 2000.
Yeah.
And here's the funny part with that: I've listened to enough saying it was a conspiracy. They blew up the buildings on purpose. All this shit about. Well, we're missing $3 trillion. We don't know where it goes. Okay, we're going to do an audit on all your records. oh look, the buildings fell down. Goddamn terrorists.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, that's like you saying, fuck, our president's dead. Shh, don't tell nobody the CIA did it. I mean, hello?
Yeah, I mean, RFK, Robert F. Kennedy, did go on record on
Rogan.
Russell Brand
And
and Joe
Russell.
Rogan's podcast.
And two others I know of.
respectively, and talk about how his uncle had been murdered, and talk
And
about
his
how,
dad.
and talked about how it was the deep state.
Oh, yeah.
Like that wasn't.
But see, there's the
was a
funny
secret.
part. If it's the deep state and everything's a complete clusterfuck, and the FBI and the CIA aren't doing their jobs anymore, alright, well, we disband the CIA, we disband the FBI, and guess what? We go back to local police.
As he put it,
County
as
sheriffs.
he put it, was the world's worst kept secret for like 30, 40 years.
Right, because we all knew. That's like Roswell. Oh, no, that happened. Well, no shit, we all know what happened.
Yeah.
It's like, why are y'all always saying we're all full of shit? We're all fucking conspiracy theorists. You know, that only adds ventilation, I think.
Validation.
Thank you. My brain went. That adds validation to the point. Anytime they call you a conspiracy theorist because they don't want to be proven wrong, that quite literally means you're right and whatever you think is 100% the truth, or they're afraid of what would happen if everybody knew what actually happened, which means what you thought of was just as bad or 10 times worse.
Yeah.
So either way, conspiracy theory. Oh, so it's right. Okay, cool. That's the thing. Got to mark down that y'all are saying is wrong. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
We literally live on a fucking planet. What if we're just living on the back of God?
Living on the back of a god, huh?
Yeah, one day he just decides to stretch out and fart and like kills half the people on Earth.
You know when I was a kid,
He's
I think it was
been literally taking a nap for 6 billion years.
I think it was first or second grade when there was a children's book actually
About that?
Yeah, about that.
Uh-huh.
It was that, and also there was another one that was about a turtle, and how the world was on a turtle's back. And so my brain, of course, is
Goes straight there.
7, 8 years old, asked the teacher, "What if the turtle farted?" And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "What if the turtle farted?" And she's like, "Well, then the turtle would pass gas. It's fine, Thomas." And I'm like, "No. What if the turtle farted and everybody died?" Like this giant methane ball went off, and like fart ball went off, and then like a lot of people died, and she was just like staring at me with this utmost horror that like
and realization that you're that smart. Like, oh,
like
fuck.
one of the children freaking in her class is like imagining a world catastrophe.
Did Thomas just say if we live on the spider like the book, we're all gonna die when he farts?
Yeah, so then suddenly all the kids in the class started jumping on it, and they were all like, some of them were just joking about the fart part, and then the other ones
some
were
of
like,
them weren't.
and then some of them were they're like, will we die if a turtle farts? What if the turtle burps? What if they eat a bad mac and cheese thing? What if we eat a bad PB&J? Then they'll like really fart, and then you add chili mix, and everyone's gonna die. And then it goes this back and forth. And she had,
you just said, fact, what about this? And then everybody else went, light a fire, grab your torches, ah!
Yeah, little kids. And then the teacher was like trying her hardest to derail and trying her hardest to change the subject and everything. And it spent like 20 minutes still going on about the damn turtle. And then suddenly out of nowhere, somehow a spider got in the mix because Charlotte's Web got brought up because that was the thing they talked about before. And then there was like another thing about the big friendly giant, and like suddenly we had like this MCU of like different theories and ideas.
And the multiverse of all the bullshit stories they read us.
Yes, and like there's this multiverse of madness and just weirdness that all started just because I said, what if the turtle farted and killed everybody?
Nice. Oh, yeah.
And like so when Castiel, when my middle child asks the questions he does, while everybody else looks at him and stuff and goes, "Shut up, Cass," whatever, they dismiss it immediately. What they fail to realize is that I did the same shit.
Right? Oh yeah. It's like, okay, but if this happened,
which is why I find it.
They shouldn't have killed. Excuse me. Every dinosaur, or kill everything. And if it was that shitty and that da-da-da, then how are we here? You know, I go into the deep thoughts as a 5-6-year-old about, well, if that's how the dinosaurs died, then how the hell are we here?
Right.
That means our ancestors should have died too. Here's a picture color.
Yeah.
Fine, you won't answer my question, you fucking asshole. Oh, the funniest one though is when my teacher told my mom I was painting dinosaurs wrong because I was painting them beautiful colors of all shades and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they're like, but he's painting them this color. Okay, and it's very artistic. It's not the point. That's not what dinosaurs' colors are. How do you know that? Were you alive when the dinosaurs were here?
Well, no.
No. My mom would make a comment like that. How
Yeah.
would you know? And then I'd stop off with something like, yeah, did you live here when the dinosaurs were here? Or mom would say, make a similar comment.
Yeah.
And the teacher, well, nobody was. We don't have pictures. We don't have, so what if he's coloring them the exact color they were? See, mom always influenced my imagination, which also always influenced, thinking back on it now, you know, with some of the stuff I've done on the podcast a few hundred times.
Yeah.
And just some of the stuff that goes through my head, it's actually pushed me forward to think 5 dimensions higher on the viewpoint of everything in existence ever. And it's like, how the fuck you get there?
Yeah.
I mean, is he wrong? It's not what I said, but how did he get there? He just walked you through the whole damn thing. I didn't understand a fucking thing he said. Hey, I don't remember what I said. I said it when I said it. Now it's out of my brain. I'm going to do other shit. And you've experienced that. Well, what about this? Wait, what are you talking about? When you said this, this, and this. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, literally.
I was talking about it then. Now my brain is onto a different subject. What is that subject? Nothing right now.
Yeah. What's even funnier is after the turtle thing, after the teacher tried to dissuade and everything, my mom.
Of course, that's what they're taught.
My mom comes in to pick me up and stuff.
You had
right?
a similar situation to that sort of thing.
And
nice.
And after that happened, mom is talked to by the teacher. She's dying, like laughing so hard about the fact that I had asked if a turtle would fart and kill everybody, and suddenly the teacher was very concerned about the fact that my mom was laughing about it, and then after that, they both ended up going back and forth about it. Somehow Tetris got involved, and then other stuff was happening, and then when we were at home, she was like, "Can you not talk about turtles farting and killing everybody while you're in class?" And I'm like, but I was genuinely curious. I don't know. That's why I asked the question, because I thought maybe she would know. And then I'm like, so should I ask the internet? And she's like, what's an internet? And I'm like, I don't know. I just know that they showed us the internet in school. And she's like, what do you mean? And then I had her go on the computer, but at that point we didn't have that ability. So I was thoroughly confused because all I heard was the dial-up sound, and it sounded like, the internet wanted to punch me in the face. That was like, and so later on, after that happened, the following week, I kept getting asked by kids in class, "Did you hear about the turtle?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Do you hear there was a kid in class that asked about the turtle?" I'm like, "I was the kid who asked about the turtle," and suddenly out of nowhere, I was becoming the most famous kid in the class.
Because you completely derailed everything in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I just fucking threw up all these it's like neon signs saying, "Halt! Let's stop learning. Let's start asking questions about a damn turtle who farts." And it became the most popular kid in class.
It's not even that it's not what you asked.
It's because of the fact that I interrupted class.
No. It's because you asked, and because you threw in the first match. Everybody else said, Ooh, gasoline!
Yep.
Had nothing to do with you, but because your brain is already 5 steps ahead of everybody else,
Yeah.
they actually slowed your mental process down. Because if they had never done that, your mom had never asked you not to say that sort of shit in class.
Yep.
They just said, hey, you know what they bitch today? Fuck them. Always ask the weird questions.
Well, that's the funny thing is that at first Mom was concerned and said, don't ask those questions because the teacher was telling her. And then like after Dad got back from the military, she told him, and he's just dying. Like there's no concern whatsoever. He's just laughing hard. And she was just like, wait, you're not concerned about this? And he's like, it's a turtle who farts. Like, I would be more and more concerned if he was asking about the devil or something. And then he was like talking about how like there are far worse things to be concerned about. And I was like, wait, what's the devil? Because I overheard it. They're like,
nice.
And then Mom was just like, Leo, shut up. And then I'm like, wait, does the devil have a turtle who farts? and suddenly it was a whole other thing because, my brother's 2 years younger than me, so if I'm 7, he's 5. And he asked, can I get a turtle who farts? That sounds cool. And they didn't combine classes, so he wasn't there.
Of course that's what intro.
Yeah, and then suddenly it was like a whole other thing where we were going back and forth. And then of course I asked, well, would they die? Really? And then so recently when Cass asked the question, goes, would they die? I'm like, oh God, I'm just repeating history right now. He is literally asking the same shit I did. Which is why a lot of times you'll hear me answering him and it's deadpan because I'm just like going, no kid, don't worry about it. No, it's fine. And I'm just like going, fuck me.
No, see, your first thought is, I don't know, what do you think about it? You just walk him through the full thought process.
Yeah.
Because it'll activate the higher, lower, and the middle. It'll activate his whole brain. Where he actually has to sit there and think about it. You ask the question. I know what I think. Why are you asking the question? What is the answer you want? And then, is that a possible answer, or is the answer you want impossible? So it has to be the other side.
That's fair. I probably
Mom
will pull
used
that
to
on
do
him.
stuff like that to me.
Yeah.
Or because I was weird and sitting and coloring, and like I said, the teachers called me the weird kid because I'm coloring a Stegosaurus, the one you were showing with the dinosaur with the tail.
Yeah.
The club tail. I can never remember his name.
The club tail? Ankylosaurus?
Yeah, Ankylosaurus. And a few other dinosaurs and stuff, and I was always, why are you coloring that color? Because that's what color I think would work great. Yeah, see, that's one of my favorites.
Ankylosaurus.
Yeah, see, the females don't have the spikes, and the males, if you go down 2 pictures, have the spikes.
Yeah.
Plus, you have, I think it's 2 or 3 different types of Ankylosaur, because you got the solid, and then you got the one with the spikes on the ball.
Yep.
All that weird shit. What, you checking to make sure we're still live?
Well, I'm also going to share it to Ghostel because I don't see her online, and that's a problem. I like to include her, okay?
Heard a new term on TikTok today that
Next soundbite.
heard a new term on TikTok today that made me stop in my tracks.
We are living in the silent depression.
This guy believes we are not just living in worse than the Great Depression, we're living in the silent depression. The average annual income in 1930 for an American individual was a little over $4,800. Sounds like nothing, but if you adjust that for inflation, a little over $4,800 a year in 1930 is equivalent to almost $85,000 annually for the average salary for one person. Right now, the average annual salary is $56,000 a year. We currently are making less than the height of the Great Depression. In 1930, gas was on average 10 cents a gallon. That would be about $1.73. In case you haven't filled up your car lately, average cost of a gallon of gas is $3.55. To buy a new car in 1930 would have been about $860, worth about $15 grand. The average cost of a new car today is $48,000. And of course, the most coveted aspect of the American dream, being able to buy a house in 1930 cost about $3,900, less than $70,000. I spend way too much time on Zillow, so maybe this isn't surprising to me, but the average price of a home in America today is $416,000. How
Yep.
could we be living through worse costs of living and wages than 1930? And no politician, no media outlet, no one is talking about it.
That's why economics is about growing an economy by strengthening the middle class.
Heard
By strangling the middle class. That sounds about right. Oh wait, he said strengthen the middle class.
That's what
I
his
heard
retard ass said, but because he can't fucking a straight line.
Yeah, he said, he's all like, it's about
But,
strangling
I mean-
the middle class, and I'm like, strangling the middle class? That sounds about right.
Sounds like what he's doing or
Yeah,
trying
right.
to do.
That's what I
But
was
see, here's
saying.
the funny part.
That's the joke.
If that's the case with inflation nowadays, think about where gas and house prices were 10 years ago when you were 20 and I was 30.
Yeah.
We ain't improved. We've been in depression since the depression.
Yeah, I swear the gas prices I see
We got
now
out
is
of
the
the
same gas price I
depression
was seeing.
within the first 10 years after the depression, supposedly because of taxes. Guess what they didn't do? Take off the taxes like they were supposed to. They
Yeah.
just kept that shit going.
What's funny is during COVID, when nobody was driving,
Except for me.
yeah, it was one of the few times I'd ever seen gas drop to $1.67 a
Oh,
gallon.
that was nice.
Like, because nobody was driving anywhere, nobody was using their cars really, and so
Nobody
therefore,
was making any money.
and so therefore they went, oh, let's go ahead and drop it down this far, and it's like, okay, so
the
you're telling
true
me,
price of gas.
yeah, so what you're telling me is that you are making $3 extra per gallon
For
on
no reason
everybody
other than
just to
'cause.
just to be rich.
But see, no. What was the gas prices when Trump was in office? Maxed out at like $2.50, $2.60?
That's when Trump was in office, was during the pandemic.
No. He got out of office when it actually started in 20.
That's true. That's fair.
So all this shit is because of Biden.
Yeah.
Because remember, the last year Trump was in office, he's like, it's not really a pandemic. It's the same as the common cold. He caught it. He went to a doctor. He got medicine that would help him and cure his system and help with his tasting and smelling. Hey, look, less than a day later, he's back. Hey, look, who else did that? Joe Rogan. Who do they call the most evil motherfuckers in the world? The assholes who are telling us the truth and what the fucking actually do. Work out, stay healthy, don't eat shit.
Yeah.
And COVID won't kill you, but it killed my grandma. And that's where the other freaking thing comes in from Tate. It killed your 98-year-old grandma. She's literally one sneeze from death's fucking taking her just for shits and giggles.
She's practically one foot in the
Shut
grave.
up. Let her go. But that's my grandma. Fuck you. All my grandparents are dead. Eat shit and die. It's my first thought.
Yeah,
Fuck y'all. All my grandparents are
grandmother-
dead.
My
Go to
grandmother
hell.
was in her 80s, and she's
That's
one.
a good day
she's
to
one of-
die.
Yeah, one of the only grandparents aside from her husband that I have that seems still alive. Aside
Yeah,
from
well,
that,
I have none
like,
of
I
my
don't have
grandparents.
like you know
I
like when
have
you
none
go
of my
to
great grandparents. I have none of my great aunts and uncles either.
yeah when you go to
Everyone's dead,
sports
dude.
games or any events, or let's say you're that prodigy child who does more than above average and you get celebrated by big family member events. I don't know what that means. But like you know how you get those
I've
things
seen it, never
where
had it.
Yeah, where grandparents show up to things and then they're like, "Oh, thank you, sonny boy, you did great," and everything like that. I don't know what that means. Like my grandparent, if she could string a solid sentence together and not sound like she's going cuckoo, I'm doing good. But if she,
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
yeah, but if like it's one of those days of the week and she just suddenly starts rambling about why TVs like have an issue, and you start wondering if maybe she listened to her husband too much when he was a TV mechanic, you start realizing that she's kind of just going,
Oh,
"Well."
her husband, who's just like my dad. Shut up. Nobody knows how you work a VCR or a real TV. I fix these things
Yeah,
for a job.
yeah, and she's
And now they've become so asinine, you can't even fix them. You just send it back to manufacturer, hope they send you a new one or no charge it for it.
yeah, sweet lady and all when she isn't being,
Completely nuts.
and being well when we went to when we held the service for my mom, she had shown up and she asked Jose if the lady next to her was literally her girlfriend, or is literally Jose's girlfriend or whatever. And I'm like, Grandma, we're at the service where my mom, who is essentially his wife, died. Why would he bring like a side piece, if that's what you're assuming she is, or why would he bring this lady and be like, oh yeah, now we're dating? It's like, why, Grandma? Why? Like, that's the type
Because in her day, because the jobs were harder, if Grandpa died, she went out and got a new dick within a week.
Now, I actually...
That
wow.
was her... I mean, think about it, though.
What's even funnier and sad is that's how my dad was born.
Point case, motherfucker!
That's how my fucking dad was born. Like,
I just literally set up the whole scenario for your whole existence. Cool.
Like, basically, she was a teacher. I think she was an English teacher. And her, and one of the guys that she was working with her car, he was helping her fix her car, and then they banged in the car. That's the story that has been evolved
Propagated
over
through the
time
family.
and changed a little bit over time because we don't know the exact full story, but all we know is that she didn't exactly want the intimacy, but she felt she had to give it, so therefore that happened.
But see, here's the thought process for that. Could she have called her husband? Was he at work? Was he dead?
I don't even remember.
See, and there's the funny part. Because this goes back to certain women saying,
He
well,
was
men
actually
treat
before he
us
showed up.
like shit. So, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But see, is it we treat women like shit? No. We do nice things like help you fix your car and da-da-da-da-da when you're stranded on the side of the street. And what was her thought process that many years ago? He did something nice. I'll let him fuck me. Maybe he'll stay.
It was the end of the 60s, too.
What, so she was high?
I guess. I don't know exactly. It was like, since he was born in August, the same as me, my dad, that would mean that she got knocked up somewhere in November, December.
Unless she popped him out earlier than January.
That's fair.
But I mean, it's cold time of year. It's cold. My car's broken. I've been here for an hour. He fixes her car. Yeah, car's warm. Alright, now that it's warm, you need warmed up too. Wait, what?
Yeah, what's funny, even funnier and fucked up about that is that shortly after that is when she ended up marrying George. Because they were together and everything, but then she ended up doing that with that guy, and then she finally officially married George, and that's how we ended up with our last name the way it was.
Yeah.
And then after that happened, that like years later is when his siblings started getting born, and of course George was not the nicest person in the world. He was very thorny and abusive. That's a whole other topic.
That's how they were built back then. Just smack them. They'll do what they're told. I mean, that was the whole generation, dude.
Yeah, I know that's how that generation functioned. Which is why we're broken, all of us, in this current generation.
The reason we're currently broken with all the idiots online is because the bitches that are younger than you, Nephi, or no, Nephi's a little bit younger than you.
Well, yeah.
Because he's supposed to be Gen Z, although
He's like
he was
maybe a
born in
decade
2000,
younger.
so as far as I'm concerned, he's a millennial, but that's a different argument. Why do you keep opening it? What are you checking for?
Making sure no buggies or flies are in it. I've had a couple flies fly in there.
It's more protein. Shut up. Anywho, plus, no offense. I mean, and I don't know if this is because I'm 83, so I'm on the brink, the end of Gen Z. I mean Gen X, and the beginning
Like Gen
of
Z.
millennial.
Whoa.
Headache. Shut up. But it's the thing of, yeah, well, no offense, it goes backwards. Well, if I'd have done with that, my dad would cock-hacked me. Or literally punched me in the face. And each generation you go back, but see, funny part is, 90% of the parents, the moms and dads, didn't do all the horrible things that they report that would have been done to them if they'd have done the same thing.
Yep.
And I know this because Danny told me, bullshit. You do exactly what the fuck he does. Shut the hell up. I didn't have to beat your ass. Your older brother's cock-out you for being a dumbass. But also because I didn't do them exactly like Crystal, because I slightly adjusted it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when he bitch at me, I tell her the situation, and I got bitched at, especially when cell phones came. But I mean, when she saw it in person, shut up, you did worse. Because he was running around screwing bitches and getting drunk.
Yeah.
What was I doing? Kissing on girls? Planning out my future? Being the slickest dick in fucking Oklahoma?
Yeah.
So I'm the bad guy. I'm the spawn of Satan. Oh, that makes you Satan, asshole. Alright, next soundbite.
You ever hear a bad story about me? Remember, I was once good to those same people too, but they won't tell you that. You ever?
Yep. No, I'm someone that in the last few years especially, I've had so many weird altercations with people in which, like, things will be seeming great and amazing, and, you know, things will be going great, and then out of nowhere, for some stupid reason, something is said, someone is affronted by something, and then...
Or they're pissed because you hang out with me.
Yeah, or I hang out with you, and then suddenly out of nowhere, some weird thing is happening. I'm somehow at fault for it, and then, you know, they never tell...
but you didn't do shit!
Yeah, they won't tell anybody that I was this great person or anything. They'll just go around saying that I'm, like, this manipulative person who lies or does all these other bad, negative things, and that, like, they'll, like, hook up this entire giant story, and I'm never the hero. Understand this. I'm never considered the hero or the good guy. I'm considered the bad guy, the monster person, whether I stood up for him or, you know,
yourself
or myself or anybody else.
That too.
Yep, and everything like that. They'll still go around telling everyone how terrible I am, and I'm just like going.
But see, here's the funny part. Wife bitches and cusses and tells everybody I'm evil and the closest thing to Satan on earth.
Mm-hmm.
You, Amber, even Russell's dumbass, Mom, everybody who actually spends 2 minutes to talk to me is like, what's this crazy bitch talking about? He's like the nicest asshole I know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still an asshole, but you can't get nicer than this.
Yeah. What's even funnier is, and I haven't talked about this before, but the very person that I was working with on projects, name is Angel. Not my dog. No,
that's
human person.
No. Your dog's a little bitch. She is a full-grown adult wanting to fuck everybody but her husband.
Apparently, and
I mean,
I say apparently because I have seen her I've seen her flirt with the most random dudes, and I'm just like, is that really happening right now? Like, aren't we trying to do a podcast? And like, it sounds like she's like trying to get them to salivate and slosh.
Or maybe that's her default. Yes, I have double D's.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know
that. I fucking asked you that. I thought we were talking about my TV show, bitch.
Right, exactly. Like, I'll be talking to her about like writing whatever, and then like out of nowhere, because of the fact that she's got some other guy that is talking to her to space, and she's like, "You should join us in our podcast." And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds cool. A bunch of nerds talking about geeky shit." And then suddenly out of nowhere, she's fucking like flirting with this guy, and I'm like,
what the fuck?
What just happened? Like, I don't have anything against you guys getting all flirty, whatever, but what the fuck? And especially after like she has done this to a lot of people I've worked with, but like, basically she messaged me like not too long ago when she texted me, and she basically said something along the lines of, I feel bad for how things ended up, but you're a great co-host, and I'll only say this once. That's how brief the message was, and I'm like, so you didn't learn shit, and you say you feel bad, but I don't really think you do, because you said this exact same type of MO to other people, and you even talked to me about saying it.
You know why she's doing it, right?
to try and make herself feel good
No.
or be
Or
performative.
not from my point of view.
Yeah.
Me seeing it from what you told me and, the whole situation that happened, which is why I kind of threw the match or threw the grenade, however you want to phrase it.
Yeah.
My thought process was, she's literally saying that to appease somebody else who literally told her, what happened to you hanging out or talking to TPAW?
That is a good point.
And they threw her under the bus because she telling you can co-host and do whatever you want in the space, and then literally yeeting the whole fucking thing out from under your fucking feet, pulling the rug out from under you repeatedly.
Yep.
And because of you is the only reason she's able to podcast, because you're the one that showed her and ran the bitch for the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what happened. Somebody gave her a they weren't trying to be mean, but they said it in such a way. Give her a good. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So it was a very
Instantly
reluctant
sent it
message.
to you, then probably blocked your phone number.
Probably.
I have to look for the phone number in my blocked list, then my blocked phone numbers, unblock it, send the message, blocked.
Yeah. That
I'll
makes
bet
sense.
I'll bet $20 on that.
Yeah,
Just
no,
because I got $20 and I don't want to lose anything.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I haven't even responded at all
Good.
Because I
You don't need to.
that night that she sent me it, I saw it pop up and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I looked at the message and I sat there staring at it for a good 10 minutes straight. And I was like going, suddenly I was remembering the beginning. I was remembering how everything kind of transpired initially, how things were going semi-good, how
And then how it all went to shit.
and then I remembered being pulled into spaces with her just so she could scream at me, just so she could yell at me in front of other people that were part of the writers' circle, and I'd be at work, so I wouldn't be able to respond at all. And she knew I was at work. I even told her over here, I'm like, I'm at work right now. I can't say much right now. And then she was like, we'll jump into space. And so then I went ahead and did that, and then she proceeded to spend the next half hour just yelling at me. And I'm sitting there just taking calls while she's yelling in my other ear, and I'm just going, okay, so this is why you pulled me in here, was to pummel me? That's like tying someone their hands behind their back and then punch them repeatedly like they're a punching bag, just because you want to be aggressive, because you're a bully. That's
Right.
literally, and then that's one of the that had happened at least 3 or 4 times that I remember.
And you
And,
told me about it.
Yeah,
And
and
I
then
got pissed.
yeah, and then in front of everybody in the group chats and shit, she'd always get the guys especially to simp after her, support her, be her cheerleader, and be ultra nice to her. Because mysteriously enough, male authors are not treated equally like female authors. They just aren't. But they would,
males in general.
but in giant,
aren't.
yeah, but in giant groups and stuff like that. A lot of the guys, especially, there was a few key ones that did not act like that, which I very much appreciate those people. But there was a lot of them that were clearly they were thirsty, and clearly they liked getting attention from her. And I just kind of was like, okay, so this is not.
What I thought it was.
Yeah, this is not the type of group that I want to be part of, really. And so I was trying to be loyal. I was trying to, show up, trying to be supportive, trying to come up with ideas and stuff. But I started just losing heart. I was just like, this is not what I'm not someone's second fiddle. I'm not someone's punching bag. I'm not someone's thing they can just shove around. And then as real life started getting more intense and things started happening in real life, I'm getting pulled away from this area that's what was supposed to be fun. What's supposed to be, kind of a digital escape, kind of because I was trying to be not like Kevin Smith, but with a similar energy of play with your friends, do podcasts, write stuff, share stuff and everything like that. Basically, just have fun, it was an escape from the job, it was an escape from the tasks and responsibilities you're supposed to be having, and it's one of the hobbies you have. And I quickly watched, and he was watching it firsthand, a lot of it, especially when we went to the gym, because I'd be talking about it, because he'd ask me how things were going. And at first I would be guarded about it, not want to say anything, and he's like, no, you just say it. And you could talk to me about it. So then I would bounce it off of him initially. But, like, I was getting frustrated. And then it got to the point where I felt cornered. Because, like, a lot of the people in the group were not being, supportive or whatever. And everyone, seemed like they were turning their back on me, of all people. Even though I was, like, one of the most supportive people in the group. And was always trying to, be a cheerleader. And then I had Cornelia, who wasn't part of the group, wasn't actually part of any group, really. She's neutral, like, she was pure chaotic neutral, like me. And independent as fuck. And so I was like, maybe I can message Cornelia and see what her thoughts are. Maybe I'm just dead wrong, maybe I'm delusional, whatever the fuck. I message her and then, like, explain her what's going on, explain how I'm terrified about even opening up. And then she's just like, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I get it. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? She's like, I've been there. And then she started going on about it, and then she called me. And we spent, like, the next 4 hours talking about shit that happened to her in the past, different groups that she'd been part of, and why she tends to be just independent. Like, she'll play with the groups, like, she'll interact with groups and stuff, but she doesn't consider herself as in the group. Like, to the point where she'll base her decisions off of the group. Like, she'll, like, interact with them, she'll dance with them, but then she'll be like, I'm my own person, so fuck off. Like, all due respect, love you and everything, love you guys, respect you guys, but I'm going to do me. And I also don't care whether or not you guys hate me or not for that. Hate me if you want, as much as you want. And a lot of times...
like me, kiss my ass.
Yeah.
I'm here to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. And so, given all that, I told all that story to be like, I haven't messaged her back because I'm like, do I really want to? Like, do I really want to enter? Like, I feel like that's a rabbit hole. And, like, it feels like a trap to me. Because it feels like it was, she messaged me to make herself look good, either to herself or to people around her.
It was probably somebody else. She screenshot the...
Yeah, and then she probably sent the screenshot message to a group chat or to a space to show off the fact that broadcast that she is this angelic person who does no wrong. And they all were like, oh my god, yeah. And ate it up like guppies. And, and I'm just sitting around here going...
I remember the first time after we talked about it, like, once or twice, and you're like, God, I wish she asked for my opinion, I give it to her, then she just said, yeah, fuck off. Yes. I'm like, alright, well then invite me to some of the groups, let me see what I can do.
Yeah, she does.
And I didn't even have to put on a full, what they call nowadays Riz, or the full charisma. I just walked in like, yeah, hi, I have the biggest dick, what are you doing today?
Yep.
And she ate that shit up. Like, quicker than fuck.
Oh yeah, no she did, it was pretty funny. It was funny for me. It was funny to watch, because I'm like, because he's my bro.
At first you're like, wait, did she just go there?
Yeah. Like,
because she brought up she'd like to know what it's like living in a man's body. I told her, well, if that's the case, you come over to my house, or we'll rent a hotel for a month, and we'll switch bodies. But just know, while we're switching bodies, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you.
That was so funny. then her internet died so fucking fast.
So randomly.
Like, and that was after like 5 minutes of like her being like, wait, what? Wait.
Yeah, she was really into
first,
it. Then all of a sudden, oh fuck, what am I saying?
Suddenly, like 20 people in the frickin' space were all laughing, we're all joking around and everything, and then it was like she realized in like slow motion like what happened. And like, what she agreed to, and then like out of nowhere the space just died and ended. And then she reposted it to new space again and was like, sorry guys, my internet died. It's like,
uh-huh.
How many times that happened now?
Well, no, I thought it was funny because the first time she went with it.
Yeah.
And then my internet hiccuped.
Yeah, and then
and then when I come back into the space, her and other people are enjoying my commentary, just goofing off whenever I pop in. But yet when did you start notice right before I decided to throw the match or the grenade?
Yep, the gasoline.
If I show up, all of a sudden her internet gives out.
Mm-hmm.
If I pop back in, oh no, it happened again. If I didn't come back, it'd stay on. I literally sit there and watch it. Let's see how long it stays this time. I actually did go in for half an hour and then went in, and like no more than 15 minutes later,
Yeah, there was that time period where like it was chronic too. It was like
Oh yeah.
it was like
Because I
every
was
hour, every
in
15, 30
every
minutes.
freaking. Because I was going hard. I'm like, all right, let's get to know all these people. TPAW knows. Let's see if I can make some friends.
Yeah, and then of course she got pissed at me because I went into the group chat and was like, "World record, Angel, for how long your internet stayed active this time," and then I said something else about how I'm like that makes 5 times the internet died today. Rest in peace, your internet. And then I was making jokes like sarcastic
Being a
commentary,
smartass, yeah.
and being a smartass, you know how I am,
Right.
and she's just like pissed off and whatever. And I'm just like, rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because that was what my mom always told me,
Right.
when I was younger, and not so, and I'm like, it was even more funny was when she expected me to take her side over yours.
Oh no, I just thought that was hilarious.
Where she's like, you shouldn't have talked to him, and I'm like, he's my brother, and she's like, I don't care. You shouldn't be talking to him about that. That was a thing between you and I. I'm like, technically it was just you asking me if you should be able to talk to him, and I literally said, go ahead and talk to him. My bro, I know how he is. Like, he'll literally just play, joke around with you, whatever. And she's
Or I'll
just like,
put on the super rizz just to freaking get her all wound up and
Yep.
walk away.
and then she just like spent the next hour trying to berate me, and I'm like, wow, go fuck yourself. And I'm
Well,
like,
no.
it would have
because-
been worse with
because
Andrew
it was
too.
funnier because we went to the gym
Yeah.
and we'd finished the workout. We got into the pool. And I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, I blocked her today. You're like, wait, what? I'm like, look, I just want to see how long it'll take her to come to you. What happened? Why did he block me? What's going
Literally from the
on?
time when we were at the hot tub, and she showed me it. In fact, we hadn't even gotten to the locker room yet, but he showed me it. Forgot he showed me, and then like 15 minutes later, he gets too hot. He wants to go to the massage chair, so we get out of the hot tub area, which involves us walking from the hot tub up to where the hall is that leads up to the door to go inside and go to the locker room
And change.
and go to the locker room change. He forgets he already showed me. Pull out his phone and said, I don't remember if I showed you this, but look. And it showed, Karnage has blocked this person. And I was like, okay. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then he's like, I wonder how long it will take. And I'm like, I look at my phone, I'm like, already happened. And he's like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, it already happened. And then I like showed him the messages from her. And then like, he's all like, just wait for it. And so I got changed, went to the massage chair. I was sitting in the massage chair, and I was like reading out messages as we were sending them back and forth between me and Angel. And I was like, certainly like, that's just how Karnage is, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like trying to just kind of explain to her, I'm like, this is how he is. You asked the questions on that one day. This is how it is. This is how he acts. It's fine, blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, but why? What is this? And she's like questioning and everything.
She's acting like an ex-girlfriend who just got told, fuck you, you talk to somebody else about me, we're done.
Right, exactly. And it was so weird because after that,
you were
the
telling me
wife-
what she was saying, and I'm just sitting in the massage chair. Oh, it would have been funny to have it on camera. So I was just sitting there cackling 10 times harder than you've ever seen the Joker cackle. It was great.
Yeah, no, it was pretty awesome. Like, I think that like I absorbed some of that because when I play a Braxton, like it ended up like coming out. But like,
Nice.
when I was sitting there and I was listening to it, and I'm chuckling, I'm laughing at my ass off because I have dealt with my brother's flavor of the week. See, he's in a relationship with a girl named Rachel, lovely lady, and
She's
he's
awesome.
been with her for like the last now 3 years, I think. It's been a while.
It's been 2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah, and he went from bouncing from chick to chick to chick, or every 6 months, or every like month or week or whatever. We used to call it flavor of the week because he'd go through different ones all the time, and it's because none of them seem to match him at all. And he's very interesting individual. He's very emotional, but he's also like almost on the verge of like he called himself autistic once, which I don't know. But he's a unique individual.
He has autistic tendencies because
He
of
does,
the
yeah.
ADHD.
He does, yeah.
Because anybody with ADHD has autistic tendencies.
Yeah, he does, and it was like, and he was comparing notes from what Jonah was telling him about how autism is, because
Yeah.
Jonah's very autistic, And like, and
I
so none
remember
of the,
that
so,
conversation.
so none of the women that he was ever running into never stuck around.
They didn't
And
click.
and he was wondering if there was something wrong with him. And he'd watched as my dad had a very
Toxic.
toxic, tumultuous, storming love life, especially after mom, because of the fact that he never knew how to keep a stable relationship. It was always hard for him. So that was my brother's example.
He fucked up with the first option.
Yeah, and so with him it was like, you know, Rachel and stuff. So I got used to the idea of being a smart ass to all these women because of the fact that some of them were being just bitches and some of them were being nice, and I was nice to them. Like Carissa, miss her. Miss a couple of the other chicks like Nikki or Nicolette.
People you made friends
Yeah,
with.
yes, the ones that actually liked me. And and like, and they didn't even have to like me. They could just respect the fact that I'm his brother, and that would be fine. But like, it was crazy because this lady was acting like those women, and I'm like, do you understand that if I had no personal actual investment in, you know, respect or anything, like if I wasn't trying to be a respectable person or anything, you would have flown so far away from me. Like I would have been like, walls are going up right the fuck now. Especially after the first time she pulled me into space to just yell at me. You fucking kidding me? You ain't even paying me, bitch. Like,
Right?
I have no reason to fucking deal with this shit. And like the people out there who are like, you shouldn't be trying to wait to his minute. Fuck you. Like if the woman's gonna be an asshole, I'm gonna be an asshole.
But I
right
mean,
back.
the funny part is, who your brother's with now is so mellow.
Yeah, Rachel's awesome.
And I mean, shit, I get along with her too. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And the funny part is, seeing you deal with the whole Angel debacle, I'm like, alright, I'm gonna play this slow game, because what did I drag it out for 6 months?
Yeah.
A year? Something like
Andrew
that?
was surprised I even stuck around at all.
What,
like,
with that stupidity?
With the yeah.
But I saw where your brain was, I like these people, I want to keep in contact with these people because they're also writers.
Andrew straight up was like, so she was a cunt. Like straight
Oh,
up was
what?
like, she was a cunt. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah. And he's like, and he stuck around. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, my God, bruh. Like, you couldn't even do that for a couple of the chicks I was with. And I'm like, I know. He's like, I was too brutally honest. And he's just like, bruh. Like, holy shit, she doesn't understand how awesome that is. And then he's like, she did not appreciate, like, the level of diplomacy, the level of niceness you gave her. Like, she abused the shit out of it. And he's like, and for all the guys out there who are just gonna simp after every need or try to fucking get lost in her fucking web of
That's
stupidity.
what I thought was funny, the day
Those
I
guys are
decided
fucking
to
dumb.
block her.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it twice before, how she kept bugging you about me, and I'm like, she hasn't written me. What, is she just gonna harass you about me until she decides she wants to talk to me?
I literally went, I don't know, maybe, yeah.
And I was like, alright, I'm done. And the whole situation happened, and I'm like, alright, fine. She wants to play, I'll be super nice, I'll be super nice, I'll bow at your feet. And then when I unblocked her, you are literally just telling me that she's literally cussing you out and shit. I'm like, we're literally sitting with each other because it's his day off of work and it's my day to goof the fuck off. Alright, bitch. Block.
It was sadder is like the thing that a lot of people don't realize, especially when they talk about people on the internet, is we're humans.
Right?
And people on the internet act like the people that they talk to on the internet are not humans. They act dickish. They act like the screen is like this shield of invincibility. But in person, they'll completely change how they act. Like, they'll be like, oh yeah, you guys are so cool, dude, blah, blah, blah. On the internet, fuck you, go die.
Or it's the whole Karen, or was it Kevin thing?
What do you mean,
Where-
Kyle?
Whatever.
I've heard
there's
many
a couple
variations.
different.
I have heard many variations.
There's a couple different ones.
Yeah.
But it's the thing of, because they shoved us in our house basically for a year and a half, 2 years. Told us not to go anywhere, not to see anybody.
Mm-hmm.
The clusterfuck with that was, I didn't listen to that one. But two, people who didn't listen to it and still went and hung out with their families didn't get the cabin fever, which caused the case to come out.
Yeah.
Male and female, and caused all the, like, like I've said before, cabin fever. You haven't been around other humans. As soon as you come around other humans, fuck, you're all evil. You're all scary. Fuck you. What? Fucking black man in my fucking bitch. This isn't fucking 1960s. Shut the fuck up. I just bought that house. Da-da-da, would never sell a house. We were best friends. The way you're flipping your shit, yeah, right, bitch. But I mean, I've also seen elderly guys do that. It's like, alright, did y'all like, because you're old and don't really know the internet, you got on the internet so everybody was assholes, decided to cuss everybody out, and now that we're actually around other people again, you've decided to keep that mentality and act like a fucking goddamn trash piece of shit human?
Yes.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's literally cabin fever. You're acting like a trash piece of shit, like everybody's gonna try to kill you. While we're just standing around in public.
Literally, you know how, okay, so I explained how the situation was to Nico, right? So we know how Andrew's reaction was. Andrew was beyond dumbfounded and was like, and you stuck around for that?
You didn't kill the bitch. Yeah.
So he's like, is she still alive? Like, she's still functional? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, how? How did you make her cry at least once? And I'm like, no, in fact, I got her to not cry. And he's like, who even are you? And he was like going, he's all like, this is still my brother, right?
Changed.
He's like, this is still my brother, right? Like, I know you're TPAW now on the internet, but like, this is still my brother, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm surprised. Like, that's, one, that's amazing. 2, holy shit. And 3, bruh, do you want some green? And I'm like, dude, we can't smoke right now. He's like, okay, well, maybe some other time, but bruh, like, what the fuck? And then I told Nico about it, and Nico was just like going,
kill the bitch.
Nico, he was literally that. He literally was just like going, so we're gonna bury the body this week, next week, and I'm like, wait, that escalated way fucking far. And Nico was like, nobody fucks with you, without my permission. And I'm like going, of course the youngest sibling would say that. Nico's just like going,
well,
yeah.
It's the youngest sibling.
Yeah, Nico's just like, yeah. And if you remember correctly, I already told a lot of Andrew's freaking ex-bitches, and right now it sounds like this lady is acting like your ex-bitch, that I would slit their throats. And and I was just like going, I'm all like, Nico, still ever violent as ever. And Nico's like, fuck yeah, especially with social justice, fuck that bitch. And like I was explaining to like
That's
Nico
why I
how
love Nico. That's why we get along. Alright, do we kick him in the nuts or do we cut him off?
Yeah. And after I explained to him what happened with Tim, I explained to him what happened with Karnage with you, Nico was like, wait a minute. So what you're telling me is this stupid bitch, I get like having confrontation issues, I get having all that stuff. But if she was literally flirting with you in a space and literally was agreeing to be fucked in the space, which is weird, but okay. Like that is happening, why does this lady go to TPAW instead of straight to Karnage? And then why does this lady ask TPAW about talking to Karnage when clearly, obviously, she already can because she already has? And I'm like, one, I don't know. In fact, I honestly was like, what the fuck do I do in this situation? I guess I'll just show Karnage the text and be like, hey, what do you want to do with this? Like, literally, that's what I did. Like, next time he showed up for gym and stuff, he's like, get your gym bag. I'm like, okay, I kind of need to show you something. He's like, okay, show me. And then show me the gym. And I'm like, then like I have it on my phone in my hand. He's like, you know what, fuck it. What does it say? And I showed him the text messages, and he's just like, so the stupid bitch won't fucking talk to me about me, but he'll talk to you about me. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna go take care. I'm like, oh fuck, he's gonna fucking die now.
Hey, I was waiting for something.
Yeah.
I'm just like, let's see how long I can string her along, make her look like the biggest hoe on the internet, because she's literally getting way into this, yes, exchange bodies, fuck the shit out of each other. Wait, what am I saying? Fuck, I'm married.
Yep. So the biggest advertisement to this person is on the internet now. You're welcome.
Love that. You finally decided to say it.
Yep.
I feel so much better.
Do you ever think about the Roman Empire?
you said about bread.
Well, alright. The common people, Roman Empire said that everybody was equal, everybody had a chance. But it wasn't. The rich got richer, the poor got poorer. And they worried constantly about people rioting. Because they knew that the common man, the common people, could take over at any time. So they would bring them into the Colosseums, and they would give them free grain, they would give them bread, they would give them wine, whatever they needed to fill their bellies and block their minds from what they were angry about. They would watch plays, they would watch fights with the gladiators, sometimes for months on end. And that's where we're at right now. And I think about it all the time. Because so many people are preoccupied with their favorite football team, their favorite actor, actress, singer, and they just don't even think about what's being taken away from them. As long as their bellies are full and they're happy with what's going on, they just let it continue.
Wow.
So,
Interesting.
And that one came from me actually looking up because it was on another one of the things I was looking up about that the whole thing was how many times is your husband, it became a TikTok trend, think about Rome. I mean, think about it. How many times do you think about Rome?
Often, especially after I was listening to Percy Jackson yesterday.
I mean, before that.
Oh, before that. Every so often.
Once, twice a week. Maybe
Yeah.
even 3 times a week, because I'm always talking to you about Constantine and how he fucked up
That
the
is one of
Bible.
those times that I think about it.
I have that reaction.
Yep.
Alright, next soundbite.
So in Canada in the 70s, the Canadian government chose a town at random. It seems to genuinely be random. It's a town called Dauphin. And they said to a big group of people in this town, we're going to give you guys, for the foreseeable future, we're going to give all of you a guaranteed basic income. We're going to give you the equivalent of, in today's money, $15,000 US. There's nothing you can do that means we'll take it away from you. And there's nothing you have to do in return for it. We're just, you're citizens of our country, we want you to have a good life. And this was studied very carefully by a woman named Dr. Evelyn Forget. To see what happened, and loads of interesting things happened. People spent more time with their kids. Very few people quit work. A lot of people turned down shitty jobs, so actual overall work standards improved because employers have to attract people with better standards. But for me, the most interesting thing is there was a huge fall in depression and anxiety. Depression and anxiety that was so severe people had to be hospitalised and fell by 9%, which is remarkable in just 3 years. So.
Wow.
Thoughts?
Well, I'm noticing a massive rise in those exact things they're talking about with like depression, anxiety, and other. And those are
Because
the
we
most
have
common
no
things they're talking about.
money.
Yeah, like a big part of the world's issues is money. Like that's one
American
of the biggest
issues,
Yeah.
mostly, but yeah, no, in the whole world
And-
it's completely fucked too.
And it's like, you know, I have had people in other countries who don't have as good a healthcare as, for instance, Sweden or some of the other countries. And so someone will ask me, like, how many times do you see a doctor? And they're like, how many? They're like, so you're asking me which limb I want to sacrifice? And they're like, no, I want to know how much time can you go to the doctor? And they're like, huh, well, I'm too broke to live. Because of the fact that I can't afford healthcare. And
Yeah, in Sweden and Finland and what's the other one over there? I'm having a brain fart.
there are Swedish people I know, Jonas being one of them, in which he thinks that we are so draconian in our standards with healthcare and stuff because of the fact that our taxes don't just pay for it.
See, and the bullshit part is, if we did it properly, like the Canucks used to do it,
Yeah, Canada.
you only have to pay after you go over a certain amount of money. The only issue with that in America was as high and outrageous as the way they make us pay and what they make us pay for basic doctor visits, even if you're paying just straight cash. It's outrageous. The rates have always been better in Canada. The only issue now is the idiot in charge of Canada that they voted in is a fucking communist. That's like the biggest issue with Canada currently, because he keeps showing up, saying shit, which is a complete lie, or just fucking up everything. Like, what was it, last week? They clapped and celebrated a Nazi.
Wow.
Because it was supposed to be to celebrate a Ukrainian something or other that was part of the military. But the thing was, the guy who was up at the podium when they started to clap for the other people, they actually gave a Nazi a round of applause.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize he was a Nazi until after the fucking fact.
Yeah, I remember Russell Brand covered that story on Rumble
And
recently.
so did a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed it was a frequent topic of discussion was the fact they had given a Nazi accolades and then was like, oh, I didn't realize he was a Nazi. Let's retcon all of that. It's like, you still got an applause, you still give him a medal. Hopefully he's a good person.
I mean, told Pepper I got blown my nose.
Like, hopefully he's a good person and whatever, but like, still
Well,
a Nazi, technically.
it's also the thing of, is he a Nazi soldier, or is he a Nazi like you're a Democrat and I'm
Republican.
no, unaffiliated.
Oh, unaffiliated, yeah, independent.
No, independent is its own fucking party. Fuck those fuckers. They're as bad as they're both Democrats.
I think independent is just a common thing that people tend to select because it's not specific. And
I don't even select that. I say unaffiliated with anybody and everybody. Because, I mean, you've heard my ideals. They're left, right, center, crooked. My ideals go everywhere, dude.
yeah, that's true.
But anyway, what were we saying?
Something about a guy who was a Nazi who got celebrated.
Oh, yeah. What was it? I heard something, I think it was today or Tuesday. They said, no, it was yesterday while I was Grubhubbing before I had to be home, so I was home when the kids got home. I hate when I get
Caught up.
No, it's not on the edge of my fucking nose. I
Oh.
can feel it. And it's just
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
there.
Oh shit, I hate that shit. Especially when you're blowing your
Right?
nose and like
It's
you can
just sitting
feel
right there on the edge. You're like,
you're like
Come
trying
on!
to get it and you can feel it and then like as your finger comes away from it you feel the stickiness of the gooey part and you just can't get to it. You're just like, what the fuck?
yeah. But anywho, no. Well, the guy who invited him to come and sit before the Congress or whatever the fuck, the House in Canada is like, I'm sorry I did that. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize he was a Nazi. I didn't do good enough research. I'm a bitch. I'm sorry. But I mean, that shit to me is fucking hilarious. Like,
Just the way you put it is hilarious.
The way I emphasized it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't emphasize that on the podcast. That was another part of the PBD.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember Brand also making fun of it.
What?
I remember Brand also making fun of it.
I mean, everybody made fun of it, and it's like, and I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember, science is a formal game of fuck around and find out. Until we meet again.
That meme was always hilarious.
Oh, whatever they add to it, I'm like, save that one, save that one. It's got Skeletor, and he's literally just laying out facts.
Yeah, he just says something and he's like, until we meet again.
And my brain goes, yeah, I know a few people have never thought of that idea. I'll send it to Thomas. I'll send it to myself. I'll send it here.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It's like, science is the old version of fuck around and find out.
It's the original version of fuck around and find out.
Yep.
Ooh, what makes us poop? Dribble, dribble. You should put something on that.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he died. I wonder why he died. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Volunteer.
I remember Sleepy Hollow, the I think it was a Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow, where like the guy was trying to do surgery on dead bodies.
Yeah.
Remember that part, and he like splits the one person's chest open, and he gets sprayed by blood.
Mm-hmm.
That was
But I mean,
funny
it's
version of that.
science.
Yep.
Every dictatorship has one obsession, that's it. So in ancient Rome,
Yeah, I remember that, actually. I don't remember that exact movie, but I remember the stuff he's talking about. Like, it's
I just think it's quite interesting, that sort of thing. My brain goes, fun.
Yeah, well, especially since, like, you know, it's not a new concept either, because it was something that was talked about. It was talked about years ago, like, way back
forever.
Yeah, and like he's talking about like the fact that when you tap into certain areas of life, like whether it's internet, whether it's the food, whether it's medical, those are the main ways of being able to try to control an entire population. Is if they get sick, withhold the medicine. If they get hungry, withhold the food. If they get this or if they get that, withhold these basic fucking needs. And that's how you try to manipulate a situation in your favor. Eventually, you get the sticky end and you get the pointy end. But there's a lot of really shady shit going on right now.
There's always been shady shit, just people aren't aware of it.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny, though, that actor who played that character also played Mysterio in Spider-Man. Jake Gyllenhaal. Self-played so many different roles.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
With all the stuff I've seen him do over the years.
I actually have liked him in other roles, too. Like he's played really awesome characters.
He's awesome.
He just happened to play Mysterio in that one movie. It was actually one of his lower tier movies, too, because he's played way better characters.
I agree with you fully on that one, because it's like, okay, my first thought when he showed up on the film, I'm like, oh, he's running out of his money, so he's gotta be
yeah, the first thing anyone
the
thinks
main
about a franchise
villain, but also
movie.
the shittiest villain they could have put in a movie. Okay, yeah, fine.
Right, like it's like anytime an actor that's got any kind of
real oospa.
Yeah, any kind of skill worth their salt, like they end up showing up in one of those franchise movies, like whether it's a small role or whether it's one of the biggest roles, and you're just like, well, that guy's got to be broke. It's the fact that he didn't sign on to it because it was like going to be this massive achievement. He signed on to it because he needed to get paid because he liked money.
That's what it always looks like. I mean, God, we've got what? We're up to 3 Spider-Mans?
Yeah.
In the actual
Marvel Cinematic Universe, they have 3 Spider-Mans, but in like the terms of movies in general, they have 3 Spider-Man. They have 3 live-action Spider-Man, and then they have
3 live-action, and then you have 5 from the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, they have the different voice actors.
And the original animated series from the 90s.
Yep.
The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. Or no, it wasn't the Amazing one, it was just Spider-Man.
Yep.
But he also went into this thing and did it's like a pocket dimension, another planet where all the Spider-Men were fighting supervillains.
Yeah.
And afterwards, he tried to help some of them, be it one of the Spider-Man was actually pretending to be the good one because he'd already killed him and left him back in that shitty planet.
Yep.
And tried to take over the whole multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like 10 or 12 in that one. I mean, there was a buttload.
Yep, and now this new one's called Into the Spider-Verse.
Well, it's
Across the Spider-Verse.
First I'm concerned, the Spider-Verse is just, okay, we're going to add 2 or 3 more, maybe 5. Because I remember seeing back in the day that they did some weird thing, and it wasn't actually Spider-Man, but it was like a Looney Tunes popping through his universes, and one of them was Pig Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, Spider-Pig was part of the original, was part of the first movie's team. They actually explored a lot more than that in this new Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
I fucking love that movie. The second one.
I haven't seen it.
I offered for us to watch it. But like, I love that movie. Like, I own it. Actually.
Yeah, we were gonna do that on a Friday or something.
Yeah, no, they were. It was.
And I got caught up or had something to do.
Yeah, and then I was offered for us to watch it on my birthday, and then you guys were all caught up in your stuff.
That whole thing got no offense, a clusterfuck because there was, God, the kids had things. I had something to do. It's just, no offense, your birthday just fell.
Yeah, no, it did. That's part of why I told the wife I was like, I need a mulligan, and she's like, mulligan, and I'm like, yeah, let's just pick a day or pick a time, and we just like celebrate it again.
We do shit.
Yeah, celebrate it again and shit. And she's like, you know, you've said that every year, right? And I'm like, yeah, and every year you get so involved with your shit that you forget about mine.
I just remember Nikki's birthday, trying to have fun with hers, and the next time so we're out, I'm like, oh yeah, it's Thomas's birthday, I might remember to text him today. I never remember to swing by because I'm always busy doing shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you've seen that compared to, what was it, 2 years ago? Compared to now? I'm like 10 times more busier now because I'm always trying to run and take care of my own shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing because I'm so zoned in.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's hurtful for, like, hanging out with people.
Yeah.
That's where the gym becomes a benefit. Alright, we're going to hang out, motherfuckers. Gym time. Come on.
Yeah, it's a big part of the reason why we go to the gym aside from to build muscles. Talk bullshit.
Building muscles is just the fun afterthought.
Yeah.
And to have all those skinny women look at us like we're two crazy old guys.
Yes.
But yet we have muscles and we're not young, so they're still in that amount. They're still in that good of shape. And they're way older than all these other guys.
Yeah, because a lot of them are like young 20s.
Dude, a couple of them are teenage kids.
Yeah,
I mean, high
17,
school
18.
kids.
Yep.
Because, what was it? The jailbait. The gaggle of 4 jailbaiters on Tuesday.
Yeah, that was interesting. We're in the dumbbell area.
One girl goes over and
sit on
starts
the one
rubbing on her
machine.
boyfriend in the middle of the males group and then walks back over to her girlfriends, and I'm like, what the fuck are high schoolers doing here at 10 o'clock at night? Go home.
Wasn't she like straddling him, or wasn't she like...
No, she didn't straddle him. I think he grabbed her ass. And she giggled and went over to her friends.
Yeah.
That's why I said her man, her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Or her current banga buddy.
Yeah, her current flavor.
Yeah, I mean, but with the way they were staying in that section of the gym also tells me, oh, they quite literally just paid for the $9.99 a month.
Yeah.
And that's all they're going to pay for because they're still in high school that can only make enough to pay for that and still have enough gas to come to the gym once or twice a week.
Yep.
Once to 5 days a week.
Yep, especially
Because
since
we don't see them there on Fridays or Saturdays.
Right.
They only come during the week. We gotta go to week so we can work out so that way we look fabulous at school tomorrow. Oh my god, all the guys from high school here. God, you got some big muscles. I wonder if he's got something else big. Just the way they ogle the younger guys who actually they have a discipline actually lift weights.
Yeah.
Or lifting weights until football season comes in and then they can just lift weights at school all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I literally am just seeing it like football, soccer. I hate soccer players. Soccer players piss me the fuck off.
What's the difference between soccer player and football player?
Soccer players pretending to be European. Fuck them.
Interesting.
That's my viewpoint. I'm sorry, we're in America. We play American football. You're a big dumbass. You play football. I kick the field goals. Let me kick your soccer ball. Right between your legs, motherfucker. Now we'll go to the... Because I've seen football players who can actually kick a soccer ball better than a soccer ball player. So, no offense, suck a dick. Because they do more running, they do more physical activities, their legs are 10 times stronger. And I known a guy who went into fucking soccer for shits and giggles because he played football. And they told him, quit coming to football, you're killing people. So he went to soccer. About killed 2 soccer teams. They said, you know how to play sports, motherfucker.
Isn't it interesting, though, that, like, soccer requires your legs, primarily? Like, you can't even touch the ball with your hands, and yet...
Unless you're the
goalie. And it's a different type of body
I need
exercise.
some more tissues.
It's a different body exercise than, say, football, where you use your arms and your chest primarily. Well, you
arms,
use your legs.
chest, and your legs because you're running
Well,
or you're.
yes, the legs, yes.
That's
for running.
not enough.
Yeah, you use your legs. You use your legs primarily to run, but like as a football player, it's primarily your chest and your arms.
Yeah, but see, here's my funny haha to it. Everybody else in the world, it's called football. Only there, you should come play our football. How about you play rugby, you fucking pussies? Why don't you play rugby? They're high school kids, no. What about the adults? They're old and broken. We only let them run and catch a ball. Plus, we're not Canada. We don't want to try to kill our civilians. I'm sorry, if you play rugby, you're trying to kill yourself for the asshole next to you who has the ball. Fuck off! One, for me, because I'm already handicapped. Fuck off, I don't need to become more handicapped. Two, I'm going to referee. You hit me, I'm kicking you in the nuts, and I might break your fucking nose.
I'm trying to remember what rugby is.
Hell football.
Can you tell that I'm not a sports person?
Yes. Because you made some talk about football and soccer, and then I said rugby because rugby will fuck up any football player.
Oh,
And they're
kinda
tiny like soccer players too.
Oh, it is kind of like football. That ball's even shaped like a football.
It's a little bit bigger actually.
Well, yeah, but still.
Just look up some videos on YouTube. Spend half an hour.
They do look like soccer players. Like, they're not even wearing regular armor.
They're not wearing any armor. The thing is, it's rough. But you have to have the tiny body because somebody who plays football who's big and built can't play. The most you get is that little hat thing. And that's if you're a bitch.
The hat thing that he's talking about.
And
I
not
think
a
you
lot
can
of
see
them.
it.
Not a lot of them wear it.
I think you can see that. Hopefully you can.
If not, too bad. My bad. Screw
Yep.
it.
Yeah. But that's pretty much...
Look it up yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this, like, it looks like a pair of underwear on your head. Like padded
But
underwear.
rugby's like, okay, go from soccer to football, right?
Yeah.
The equivalent, how hard soccer is compared to football because you're using more of your body,
Mm-hmm.
is the equivalent from football to rugby. Because
Makes sense.
it's more intense. You have to be a different type of athlete, but you can't be big or have the pads on like in football.
Yeah.
Because you're not tackling somebody. It's literally everybody in both teams going at the ball until you get to the spot where until you get to a certain part of the field and score a goal.
Yeah.
It's a completely different setup, and it's fucking weird. But I think I'd have had fun playing football. I had the shoulders, and I mean, I was 220 in high school. I talked to my algebra teacher and talked to him about getting into wrestling, but my grades were never good enough. But I was the biggest fucker, and there was a dude who was fatter than me. And he's like, "No, you still weigh more than him."
Huh.
I'm like at 220, 5'9", 5'10", and I weigh more than the fattest guy in school. If that doesn't prove muscle weighs more than fat,
Yeah.
and I walked away with that. Because I walked everywhere. I was skinny as fuck.
Yeah.
I wasn't ripped, but I was built. So, it worked out in my benefit.
That's good. Whereas me, I was always just tiny.
I wanted to play wrestling or football. Those were my options. I can't throw, I can't catch. I'll fucking tackle your ass. You might not know you're there till tomorrow. Be ready. Because some of the guys when we were in 8th grade, because some of the high school kids would come out and play football, and I'm like, nope, I'm not playing while they're throwing it, because I'm defense.
Yeah.
Or, I should say, I didn't play... Actually, I was playing more offense at the time, because... No, it was defense, because I didn't like getting tackled. I like being the one tackling. But, cause so I always sit on, like, the outside line. You
Yeah.
know, no playing. I'm just part of the team, just walking along. This guy came up and rammed him. What the fuck, asshole? I ain't playing. Yeah, no shit, you never play. Fuck you, you bitch. I play fucking defense. You just went out of line. Hey, he fucking fell. He da-da-da. And it's like, Motherfucker, this is street ball. Alright, motherfucker. Change the whole goddamn thing. I'm just ain't gonna play with y'all. You're gonna literally try to run me over. One, I'm handicapped. Two, all I'm good for is tackling. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Especially because he got pissed because I wasn't playing on receiving and, on both ends. On offense and defense. I'm not built for offense, motherfucker. I can't run that fast. But, that was being part of, FFA, Future Farmers of America. I mean, that was really big in Oklahoma. But, one of the times we were waiting for the bus to come get us, take us back to the middle school. Because it was 8th grade year. So we basically got like a high school credit 1 year early.
Yeah.
So that was the cool part. But anywho, we were playing like little bullshit football, just tossing it back and forth. Guy thought I wasn't gonna tackle him. I just click right into you.
Yeah.
He went down. I didn't think you were gonna tackle me. You good? Yeah. The bus is here, and I just walk off.
Yeah.
He like patted me on the shoulders when we got to the bus. Oh, I did not expect you to hit me that hard. Why? If the high schoolers are playing, I usually only play defense.
Yeah.
I can't run, and I'm not taking a hit. Just because I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm good for defense only. He went, I can tell. And then we went to school. At the middle school. So, yeah. Football, never had an issue with it. My only issue with it is I can't run as fast as everybody else, so actually me in defense would have been
Yeah.
So.
Would not have been your favorite party.
Well, it wouldn't have been my best play.
Makes sense.
Because I can't run, so the guy running at 15 miles an hour when I can only run 5 to 10 ain't going to work when you're playing football. So that's why I decided not to play football. And because I can't kick a ball straight because the soccer balls are too fucking big. Guy I knew in high school and from church named Doug, who was treating me like a piece of shit even though he was a raging fucking idiot. He thought he was the smartest guy in the world. Yeah, I've met two of you. Shut the fuck up. Well, no, I always dealt with the idiots who thought they were smarter than me. I'm like, dude, you have no clue how smart I am. The only issue I have is I'm not given all the facts. Anytime I try to find the facts, they don't give us enough facts in the books that are out there now. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That's like, told me about courts. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, courts are the thing, or courts, or, however the fuck do you say it? There's a slight twang to it or some shit. Or the energies that make atoms. And I'm like, yeah. And I bet you if you look to see what those are made from, it's made from the same thing you just said that are made from the atoms. Atoms are the smallest solid matter that you can see. Everything under that, I don't count because that's all energy and that's not visible. That's you measure by a magnet or a machine. He got real pissed at me. No, the smallest thing is that. I'm like, actually, no, that's probably not the smallest thing either. There's probably 2 or 3 things smaller than that.
Yeah.
No, there's not. And alright, you arrogant little piece of shit. Just weird shit that happened in high school.
Yeah. I was always just swim teammate myself. Because I tried soccer when I was in middle
if they'd
school.
have had swim team, dude, I'd have been on top of that because I love swimming.
Yeah, it was like middle school I did soccer, was not the most physically able person. Then high school came around. I did soccer a little bit in that team, but it was like less, like they had PE, but on PE it was based on whatever the coach wanted you to do that day.
I never did phys ed.
We'd occasionally do football or do soccer, and again I was 120 wet. So, I don't wait. The weight class I am now, was actually the weight class I wanted to be when I was that age, because I wouldn't have been practically air.
More weights.
Like, so back then, like I was 120 wet, and so did not weigh a lot, and so it was not fun. It was not fun to be thrown around as a teenager, and so. But like so I wasn't very much of a sports person. I was like, screw sports. And then I learned that swimming team existed, and I was like, I'm gonna jump ship over there. And then yeah, and
Dude,
so I learned all the different techniques.
I asked the schools if they could make a deal with the YMCA and make it the last fucking class of the day, or make it an after school thing, like football, basketball, soccer, all that shit,
Yeah.
so we could actually fucking swim on the swim team and like put ourselves up against other people. Well, we don't have swim teams in Oklahoma or in Potawatomi County. None of the schools have enough money to have a pool. Oh, my fun, I can't swim. I'm from the fucking East Coast, bitch. Where's the water?
Yeah.
You have a lake. I mean, you saw me at the Willard Bay. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm in water, go.
Yeah.
Not even a thought about it. Oh, I'm a fish in water.
Yeah, no,
But I mean, you being on the coastline, I bet you that was fun as shit, man, Kelly.
Oh yeah, no, I loved it. That's one of the things I absolutely don't
Adored.
like about being here in Utah is I don't have that
There's
anymore.
swim team.
But like, well, no, they have swim team up here. It's just yeah, it was different than being on because with swim team, like they also occasionally would
Take you to the beach.
take us to the beach and we'd swim in the ocean.
Because you're on
And-
the west coast.
And the lady would always tell us, the lady and the other
Person.
dude coaches would tell us, be like, if you could fight against the waves of the ocean, and you can use your body to unite basically and synergize with the water, and go with the flow of the water, then you can go even better and more smoother in the swimming pool. And
Oh, fuck yeah,
they were
dude.
right. Like, after we practiced a lot in the ocean and stuff, we ended up
Oh, because
practicing
if the
in
water's
pool.
always pushing you to the left,
Yep.
you get in and you swim like a fucking asshole to the right.
Yep. And with swimming pool, there is none of that unless there's other people in the pool with you. And so.
Or unless it's made for that, like,
Yes.
parks.
Yep. And so.
And I hate half of their fucking love pools. They
So
suck
if you're
ass.
used to swimming in the ocean, or you're used to swimming in a place where there's pressure against you, and then you go into a pool, you are now
Dude, it's so
your
fucking
body
easy.
ends up adjusting itself to that pressure. So therefore, you end up zooming through the water instead of
hell
just
yeah.
gradually getting across. But it was
Oh, yeah.
But it was fun as fuck. Like I loved swimming the swim team. That was great. That's why it's funny because Connor would be like, oh, you think the way you were moving now in the water is that the way you move in the swim team? And I'm like, no. And he's like, wait, what do you mean? I'm like, this is just a cruise through. Like I'm literally just
This
cruising.
is well, I've
through the
even
water.
told him it's literally light cardio.
Yeah, like it's not even that
Because
heavy.
I don't even go for a full swim, and when I go for a full swim, I'll go 2 or 3 back and forths, and then I'm like, alright, I gotta go back to the slow for like 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Because I'll work myself so far up.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be like, alright, time to breathe.
You should have seen the look on Jose's face when he saw me actually do swim team shit in the pool. Like, he nearly shit himself. Like, he was just all like, the fuck? How are you moving that fast? And I'm like, I told you I did swim team in high school.
Well,
Come on
yeah.
now.
The only issue I ever have with like doing certain things like that at the pool, I don't have goggles.
Yeah.
So I always, because I know how to control my body weight really well in the water. Because I can go all the way down to the bottom
Yeah.
and like skim. The issue is I don't know how far I've skimmed from the push off.
Huh.
I can usually get to about halfway down the pool.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I want to be able to do the full pool though, just push off and under the water.
Yeah, no, that's a
Because
fun
I move
trick.
like way faster underwater.
Yeah, I was talking to Connor about it because Connor was like doing his whole thing. He's all like, push yourself against the wall, and I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, put your legs and stuff like professional. I'm like, oh, you mean like I did on swim team? And he's like, you did that? And I'm like, yeah. And then like he's like, do it. So I did it, and I shoved myself against the water and like practically shot halfway across the pool, and he was just like,
Right.
what the fuck? And I'm just all like going, that wasn't even as far as I normally did it when I was in swim team.
Well, I mean,
And I was
you've been
lighter
out of
back
practice for a few years. So.
Yeah, and I was lighter back then too.
Yep.
Right. So like it was interesting showing him some of that stuff, but like it's like freestyle, breaststroke, backstroke, and then butterfly. Those are the 4 forms that I know. Butterfly is this whole thing where you're moving across a bit like a fish.
Yep. I prefer to do the breaststroke or it's really weird, and I know it's weird to swim like this, but doggy paddle.
Yeah.
I can actually get, but I also like doing doggy paddle because it gives me more of a shoulder workout.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I like doing it when I'm just in the pool by myself.
Makes sense.
Because I mean, I don't use my legs in the pool. I don't know if
Mhm.
that's part of the same tears or something. I got used to not using my legs because they got more in the way than out of the way.
Yeah.
So my legs will literally float behind me behind me either direction because they're behind me while I'm doggy paddling and they're behind me when I'm doing the
Yeah.
backstroke going the other direction.
Yep. Yeah, no, I missed a lot, like, missed doing that shit. Like, not that I'm gonna do it, like, let's say we went to the gym tonight to go to the pool. Not that I would do it right then and there, but it was, I remember those
No,
times.
tomorrow when I come grab your ass for the pool. You have a lane, I have a lane, Connor has a lane. The women standing there in bikinis come in, give us dirty looks while literally, because they're so pissed at us, they're jiggling their tits at us while they walk
I
into the hot
remember
tub.
them actually doing that once.
Yeah, because we had every lane occupied. They walked in, jiggle, jiggle, and when she got far enough away, wiggle, wiggle. I'm just like, oh, it's a good day to be at the gym.
And then Connor just kept jumping at the pool and was like, "Thank you for shopping at Walmart."
And him with his fucking randomness,
And random comments.
which aren't random anymore. Now I have a line. It's like I'm in a movie. Oh, God, he's broken. Okay, fine.
Yeah, he was like, "This is my catchphrase." And I'm like, "It's your catchphrase? Thank you for shopping at Walmart." And he's like, "Yeah, it's my line, like I'm in a movie." And I'm like, "You realize that's not the best line in the world, right?"
Well, I remember us telling him jokes. Like I told him, I made a joke about it. Oh, so you're like Walter. You're just too lazy to say get your shit and get out. Also, because you're not old enough. Okay, cool. Anyway, wait, what? Dude, you used to love that DVD. We got it sitting at home.
Yep. I remember watching that, because like they've got clips everywhere now of that, but like I remember watching it a couple times.
Well,
and
I
just
have
dying.
his first 2 or 3 CDs at home.
Yeah, the first 2 or 3 shows that he ever had put on DVD.
Yeah, because the one I didn't get, which was actually his third one, so I actually think it's the first, second, and fourth one, because he had. This is when he was at his when he was bouncing off the second one, it's still on his upward spiral before he just became. Oh yeah, we know who he is.
Yeah.
He did a like Christmas special or some shit. And then he did a Halloween special. But he did the Christmas special and then he did another just regular stand-up comedy and then he did the Halloween. I think in that order, or vice versa on the Halloween and the Christmas. But that's the, those are the CDs I haven't bought
Yeah.
of Jeff Dunham.
Need to actually get a hold of those one day.
I got them. You just need a DVD run.
Copier.
Got an extension. Okay, send it here. Hey!
Yep.
Sure, I'll bring them back Thursday.
So you're getting tired then?
Yeah, I was about to say something. Because it's...
Yeah, that's
it's
12.
12.
Yeah, it's after
I'm
midnight.
starting to crash.
Alright guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to do another show very soon, whether it's this next Friday or otherwise, because I'm trying to figure out if I need to do a wedding that day or not. Pretty sure we'll
Next
be able
Thursday?
Yeah, pretty sure we'll be able to do it, but
Well, if you want, because you don't work tomorrow, we can swing by and do one in the middle of the day. Try to get that comedian, see if he wants to hop on. like do a Zoom call or something on here,
Yeah.
where we can link it up.
Oh, okay. So
Like
it's actually a
record
Friday.
it tomorrow.
It's actually a Friday is when that thing's happening. So we'll be able to do it next week.
Okay. Well, I was just saying if you, and this is just a plan, if you ever want to get a hold of them or whatnot, like
Yeah.
do it on a Friday, like after the kids go to school. We get them on a Zoom call. Me, you sit here, shoot the shit with them. Pre-record it on a Friday, like morning.
Yeah.
So that way, on one of those random Thursdays or something, you're like, okay, click, upload it on this Thursday. Like, when, okay, well, this Thursday we're going to see Nephi, and you just make it so that way it pops out on that day.
Yeah.
It'll be one of our random ones because we're talking to a new
Yeah, we're talking
person.
about a guest. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm down for that. Actually, I'm down for working something like that in. Now,
Pre-record it.
yeah. Well, like I'm down for us doing something like that, like figuring out a time to do it with.
I saw him at the gym the other day when we were there on Tuesday.
Yeah, so did I. And he kind of like briefly said something to us, and then ended up being hostile to the other person. I'll have to hit him up and figure out what time he's available. But
Well, he said he's not available at nighttime, so that's what I was saying. I have to come over during the day, like when the kids are at school, like 9, 10 o'clock,
yeah,
and then we'll just do it.
tomorrow
But
I've
not
got a.
tomorrow, because tomorrow I have to make the last $50 with Grubhub, so that way I can pay for next month's and see if I like the Mint. What's the new one? Something
Oh,
unlimited.
the unnecessary plan.
Yeah, unnecessarily unlimited.
I spent like $6 and got myself that plan. Then on the 15th, it's supposed to turn into that new plan.
Yeah, the full 150.
Yep.
I'm
Alright.
down for that though, cause I mean I'm paying $30 more bucks for 3 months, $10 more a month, instead of paying $20 a month
Every time you run out of data.
for 10 more gigs to last me till the end of the month. But if I have 60, cause I only hit about, I think it's 40. Cause I mean we're literally at the end of the month. Let me check. Yeah,
Yeah, you're at 40. Yeah.
I literally hit my mark today.
Yeah. No, and it's crazy because it's like, for me, I always gravitate between 35 and 40. Like I was usually in a max.
Well, I mean, if I'm Grubhubbing, I always hit 40, dude.
Makes sense, especially when you're out on the road all day.
Yeah. My signal is always good.
See, and it's only recording 1.2, but I've actually had like 20 gigs used. But now it's restarting it for the next like 2 or 3 weeks until after the new 3-month cycle starts.
Well, my new one doesn't start until October, so
Yeah.
9th. So that's why I was figuring
Mine's
tomorrow,
like
because
15
it's
or
Friday,
16.
I go make $50,
Mm-hmm.
prepay for the plan.
Yep.
I already got food at home, so I don't need to worry about the kids because I bought some food on Tuesday because I had a few extra bucks after replacing the battery in this, the battery in the car, and the air filter for the engine.
Yeah.
I had a busy fucking Tuesday. So if I wouldn't have had to stop for the air filter or the battery, I just kept Grubhubbing until fucking ass cracking nowhere.
Yeah.
But also, we were gonna go to the gym, so I'm like, close enough. You know what? Let's go see if O'Reilly's is still on.
Yeah.
And I did it before it got dark, around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So that way I had enough time. And then I went out and grabbed like 2 more orders to put me over the top.
Yeah.
So that
makes
way I
sense.
could afford to do a couple things.
Nice. Yes, in the meantime, we will work on getting another episode done for you guys. I may even share some stuff writing wise.
We'll
to keep
see.
saying. But in the meantime, this has been Crazy Bees Podcast. I'm TPAW.
Karnage 6778 everywhere except for hell.
And you can find us on this thing, and I will get all the episodes uploaded to Rumble very soon. And have a week.
Don't die.
Stop screaming. Stop screaming.
Play with her nipples. She'll quit.